What's going on, Drinking Buddies? Brand new podcast coming right at you. But real quick, how's everyone doing? I hope everyone is surviving the best they can, attending some protests, staying safe to the best of their ability. 2022 continues to be fucking wild, y'all. That being said, gotta have a quick word from our sponsors, those fine folks that bring me a little bit of booze and bring this podcast to you week after 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 week. Getting a little stir crazy in the house. First and foremost, we are brought to you by the video versions of It Now We Drink. The video versions are available on Vimeo in full HD, ad-free. Fire it up, get right into the madness. Completely uncensored, nudity happens. Check them out for 99 cents an episode or $6.99 a month. Get you all the episodes streaming unlimited. It's amazing. Check them out at ANWD.net/videos. Once again, that is www.anwd.net/videos. We are also brought to you this week by our friends at Twitch. Twitch is not a sponsor, but I am Twitch streaming. So please, come sponsor me. Come sponsor me being a special needs video game player. Pop into the stream. Come bullshit with me in the chat. Watch me play some video games. Watch me yell at some ignorant shit at some of my friends while we play video games. Got a couple streams a week. I got a schedule up on my Twitch at twitch.tv/MadFandSlayer. URL's in the description of the episode as well. Come throw some support in. If you got Amazon Prime, throw me that free sub. I love you for it. And we are also brought to you this week by a real fucking sponsor of this show. Our friends at Vinyl Me Please. Vinyl Me Please is the Record of the Month Club. The best damn Record of the Month Club. In fact, every month, Vinyl Me Please features one album that is essential to the modern vinyl collection. Each record is pressed exclusively for Vinyl Me Please, as features you can't get anywhere else. Things like bonus tracks, inserts, color variants, and comes packaged with a 12x12 album-inspired art print and custom cocktail pairing recipe. Vinyl Me Please has been a sponsor for a long time, and there's a reason I believe in this product. They're not like Record of the Month clubs of old. They're month to month, no strings attached. Get some awesome vinyl, get some cocktail recipes. Can't beat that. And if you're not impressed, just quit. Walk the fuck away. Trust me, Drinking Buddies. You will love Vinyl Me Please. So check them out today at www.joinvmp.com/ANWD. Once again, that is www.joinvmp.com/ANWD. My guest this week is comedian Lawrence Rosales. When I sat down with Lawrence, this was in May, a little over a month ago. He was going through some shit, sleeping on an air mattress in Washington. He had recently been divorced. Rough time for the dude, but this was a fun episode. It gets a lot sloppy by the end. But I think me and Lawrence had a good time with it, and I hope you enjoy the fuck out of it as well. So sit back, relax, pop a cold one, and enjoy, Drinking Buddies.
When aliens come to take over, they look at us like we're out of our minds now. We're gonna galactic makeover, and now we're thinking that they just might be right. I cannot wait for this whole world to end. I'm gonna break out the bottle with my friends. I think they'll tell the best stories when we're gone. And now we drink.
But that's a brand new airbed behind me. I don't want anybody thinking I'm not classy. That is it's a 4-day-old airbed.
Have you violated social distancing with it yet?
With myself, with myself pretty hard.
Nice. Got to fight that prostate cancer.
Is that how you do it?
Oh yeah, science has proven that if men ejaculate at least 21 times a month, that reduces levels in prostate cancer.
21 times a month?
Yeah.
Oh, then I'm gold. I'll never get prostate cancer, that's for sure.
I mean, it's literally, you got to get the poison out.
Well, I don't have health insurance, but I can jerk off at least 30 times a month.
Exactly, on a slow month. Those are like pre-quarantine levels.
Pre-quarantine levels?
Yeah, 30 times a month. That's only like pre-quarantine. Post-quarantine.
Oh, that is true. During quarantine, we could probably get it up to 40, 45.
Yeah. Got to give the wrist a rest.
I like to get to the number of presidents every month. You know what I mean? It's important to me. Where are we at? 46? 45?
I mean, depends on what your political leanings are. Some people don't consider 45 a president.
Oh, well, some people didn't consider 44 a president, so.
This is true. So I feel like you should just round up to 50. Be safe.
Well, got to do it for the prostate.
Got to do it for America. And thankfully, I'm already recording, so.
Oh, I was about to ask when we're going to.
Well, normally we were going to get into it, but that bit just cannot not be on the internet.
What?
I was talking about our masturbation habits.
Oh. I think everybody knows mine.
I'm pretty sure they're aware of mine too, but it's good to have them all in one place so people don't have to Google two different things.
It's nice to just point at the rules. You don't have to say them.
But this is an audio format mostly, so we do have to say it.
Well, you point to where the podcast is. You go, guys, wherever you're getting your podcast, point at it. That's where the rules are.
Yes. Hear about two middle-aged men talking about their masturbation habits. It's the content that everyone's tuning in for.
Ass cancer. The only thing they're not going to get.
Oh, cheers. Looks like you toasted me, so we'll do that.
Cheers.
Cheers. So, besides masturbating quite a bit in the 4 days that you've had this bed, what else is going on with you, Lawrence?
Oh, man. Life's weird right now in quarantine. Comedy doesn't exist. We're all just kind of Uber drivers with opinions. And,
I mean, to be fair, that's a lot of comedy before the quarantine, too.
Oh, yeah, but at least you had comedy, to go to at the end of the night. Now you're just an Uber driver with a lot of opinions. And so, yeah, I've just been working Uber. I've been living in Washington now for like 3 weeks. Going to be here for like 2 more weeks. We'll call it a sabbatical. Took a sabbatical.
Why did you take a sabbatical?
Well, got addicted to drugs and got a divorce.
Well, that's a good reason to take a sabbatical.
It's like Eat, Pray, Love, and it was just, sex and drugs and not learning any lessons.
There's a lot to unpack on the drugs and divorce and ending up in Washington. For my audience who doesn't know Lawrence, he is normally based out of Texas. So
yes.
Okay.
Based out of Dallas, Texas.
Okay. So why Washington first and foremost?
I'm very lucky in that I had a group of friends kind of around the country, and I got offered a few places to stay for a little while. One was Washington, one was New York. New York didn't seem like a good idea with the pandemic, so I said, "Give me Washington." So I got shipped out, and now I'm here until the end of the month.
And then where are you off to?
Back to Dallas, and hopefully back to being on the road doing comedy.
You really think that's going to happen in the next month?
Not the next month, but Dallas is already open. Dallas is the Addison Improv had shows last Friday.
How many people actually showed up to that?
I heard there was like 40 or 50 or something like that. I think that's the most they were allowed. Texas is not taking this shit serious at all.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I think the problem is in a couple of weeks, they may fucking shut back down and be like, oh, that was a mistake.
Yeah, I'm a little worried that as soon as I'm heading there, it's going to all shut down.
Are you able to extend in Washington if you want to, or?
That's on the good grace of my friends, and they're moving back to Texas, so I don't know what their plan would be. Hopefully.
If you're not able to do comedy when you get back to Texas, what's the plan?
Kill myself.
Make sure to live stream it at least. You'll be famous post-mortem.
Oh, definitely. It would be weird to not cash in those likes, but I know I'll get them. I don't know. It would suck if comedy actually went away. This month or 2 months has been really hard of just not having that whole thing to do all the time.
Have you attended any of the Zoom open mics?
No, I haven't. I think just sitting in the room and watching somebody bomb is hard, but looking at them like this and watching them bomb, that'd be fucking miserable. So no, I haven't done any of that. I've just been writing in my little black books and waiting.
What What material you've been working on? Is it stuff like about COVID or just your divorce and drugs? And
All of the above. I think COVID is gonna. I think you got to reference it because, like, as comics, it's like everybody. Obviously, it's where we're at. But I don't know. I haven't found like an angle for the COVID thing other than like my experience with it, which has been ending up in Seattle, um, and just that kind of shit. I had a homeless person yell algorithm at me. That was pretty very Seattle thing to have happen. It was also very insulting. I it's like I get it, a comic Uber driver. It's like, fucking it's not the most original thing. But either is being homeless and yelling at people on the street. So fuck that guy. I look in Texas, whenever you're homeless, I feel like there's like, look, you gotta respect homeless people. You gotta give them their dignity. But where I'm from, they're dressed or they look a certain way. This kid snuck up on me. Like he looked like he could be like a fucking coder or something. And he just yells algorithm at me in a very homeless person tone. And I was like, oh fuck you, man. That's like against the Geneva Convention. You can't just walk out here like you work for Google and then be a goddamn homeless person who insults me in front of strangers.
are you sure he doesn't work for Google?
Well, it's Seattle, so I just assume they all work for Google
Or Amazon?
or Amazon. You see all the trucks roll out from there in the morning, and it's just like there's just like a highway full of Amazon trucks. Like, this is kind of terrifying.
Oh, yeah. Nothing like them making record profits during all this.
Do they have more money than the military?
No. Our military spending's in the trillions.
It's going to be interesting when they do.
Yeah, well, when they start to become a threat to the defense contractors, then we'll see them go away.
That's my doomsday scenario. It's fucking Amazon they're able to outfund the governments, and we all become drones.
It might be too late.
It might be too late. I think you're right.
It's sad. I mean, I technically make money off Amazon right now, so I shouldn't talk too much shit about my overlord.
I feel bad because your podcast is great. I listened today, but I thought when you started reading ads and you said, this is where I make most of my money, I thought, God damn it, I got to start a podcast.
No, I don't make most of my money off this fucking podcast. I make most of my money producing other people's podcasts.
Ah, okay. So you make money off podcasts, not your podcast.
I make some money off my podcast, but I don't make all my money off my podcast.
Well, sounds like you're doing better than most comedians. So.
Well, I'm not a comedian, so.
You never dabbled? You never hit an open mic?
Nope. I have no fucking writing chops.
Really?
Yeah. 100% no fucking writing chops.
How did I meet you? Because I know I met you through Bobby, right?
Right, yeah, through Bobby.
Did y'all grow up together or something?
We're both from Chicago. Chicago bar scene, mutual friends, all that fun shit.
Oh, okay. You said no writing chops. It made me think of Bobby.
Hi, Bobby.
Not in that way. Just that he's a writer. I think of Bobby. And so Bobby's great. Back in the day, before comedy, I did a podcast that I hope nobody looks up called New Worlds, where I would read my short stories or someone else's short stories, and then I would interview them. And Bobby was a guest on there.
Nice. Is that how you originally met Bobby?
Yeah.
So for the audience, we're talking about author Robert Dean, who's been on the show multiple times.
Great dude, great interview, good writer.
Oh, yeah. One of my best friends. Every time he comes to LA, we get ridiculously drunk. Just fall down ridiculously drunk.
I don't know if I get fall down ridiculously drunk anymore. I'm too scared.
What are you scared of?
I don't have health insurance, everything.
I don't know. I mean,
see, I need to have I could roll an ankle and end up homeless. You know what I mean? Like I could, when you don't have health insurance, everything's an extreme sport.
This is true. This is why you got to move to California and get our fucking heavily subsidized fucking insurance. Because our state is we're here, have some welfare.
Oh, well, you know what? As a guy with an airbed behind him, sounds pretty good.
Hey, when I first moved to LA, I technically didn't have a job and immediately got, the welfare insurance.
Really?
I had residency for under 90 days, and I'm like, I'm signing up for Covered California. And they're like, here you go.
See, my buddy gave me a link here where he said, you've been here long enough. He's like, you could just sign up and get health insurance through Washington. And I was like, that doesn't sound like it makes sense at all. Like, I'm from Texas. You get a gun eventually, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. We're already reopened. You know, fucking our ice cream kills people. We just brought brass knuckles back. You remember brass knuckles?
Oh, yeah. I mean, technically, they're all paperweights now. That's how you're allowed to carry them.
Well, not in Texas. We legalized them again. We brought them back. We said, y'all remember brass knuckles? Get them out of here.
What possible justification could they have for brass knuckles? What?
It actually is a good weapon for maybe the smaller people or a woman, perhaps. As there were cases, I guess, they had court cases where women had defended themselves with brass knuckles. So, under the guise of, well, it's good for the ladies, we brought back brass knuckles.
Hey, ladies in Texas, small frame pistols work real well, too.
That's true. That's true.
You don't have to worry about some dude wrestling you and you unable to throw a punch.
It's pretty easy to hit somebody in the face with brass knuckles. You know, I gotta assume that's gotta suck.
Yeah, but it's also, I mean, I would assume pretty easy to restrain someone who's much smaller than you's wrists. I'm not in the habit of pinning down smaller people, but I would assume.
Look, pinning down smaller people's not hard, but if they punch you in the face with brass knuckles, it's gonna suck.
Yes, but they have to have the situational awareness to get the brass knuckles out, put them on their hand, and then hit you.
I don't know if you've been to Texas lately, but these women are just walking around with their brass knuckles on already. It is, it's a pretty kinky place.
But what happens if dudes are just walking around with brass knuckles then? Then you have a fair fight.
Well, you know, you can't walk around with brass knuckles on because then you're not a gentleman. So, you know, those are the
rules. If you bling them out, like if they say something.
Bling them out reminds me, I went to a sex club one time.
It's the best segue ever, by the way. Sorry.
And they were playing, there was a porn that was playing at one point, and there was a black gentleman who was, I would say, accosting this woman on film, but he was wearing 10 rings, okay? Like, this is 2 Thanos gloves, 2 of them. And to me, if you're wearing more than 1 ring, it's got to be a Super Bowl ring. There's no reason for you to have more than 1 ring.
So I normally rock like 10 rings.
Really?
Yes.
Well, you know, I stepped on it there, but
it's
no,
okay.
fuck that.
You can insult my back.
Explain yourself. Why are you wearing so many rings?
Because I want to. Because I can. Because this is America and my hands are free.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Just trying to fix the light. Because your hands are free. What? Just 10 rings not get in the way of you jerking off? You got to take those off every time you jerk off.
Take them off. I mean, I'm not wearing them right now. I mean, this is actually the first podcast I've done remotely where I wasn't wearing a bathrobe, so.
If I was a woman and I saw a dude wearing 10 rings, I'd be like, is this dude single or does he want to get married really bad?
Oh no, they're all like fucking skulls and fucking like heavy metal rings. So.
Oh, you didn't have to say that. When you said 10 rings, I knew.
Okay. Oh,
I knew there were some skulls involved.
Well, no one who sees 10 skull rings is like, that dude wants to get married.
Well, you know, there's a lot of goth girls out there wearing brass knuckles that might take you up on it.
Well, it sounds like I need to move to Dallas. No, actually, I don't. I've been to Dallas.
Hey, it's not that bad.
No, Rad Barbecue. My ex-fiance lives there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
she's happily married with a kid, so not my problem.
Oh, well, hey, not your kid.
Definitely not my kid.
That's the problem.
Definitely
hey, I'm 35. Not. I've made it this far, so I think I'm good on no kids as well.
I do not feel for the people that have kids in quarantine right now. Like, it's just bad news.
Yeah. It's like everyone's kid got suspended. You know what I mean? It's like, now you got to deal with him.
And I know some dumb motherfuckers with kids, so.
I feel like when you get out of high school, every one of your friends who you thought that person should definitely not have a kid has like 3 within the first year.
Thankfully not in Chicago, mostly because a lot of my friends were unfuckable.
Oh. The unfuckables, huh?
Yeah. But a handful of them do have kids now. And it's all like, what the fuck? I don't want children ever, so can't wrap my brain around like, oh yeah, I want to change someone's poopy fucking diaper.
That I would throw up. I do have a weak stomach. How old are you, Matt?
39.
39. Okay, so we're on the same age. I'm the same way, man. Kids are. I'm barely taking care of myself. If I could sue myself for negligence, I really think I would have a good case.
I'm right there with you. So with the weak stomach, no period sex?
Well, I mean, there's different kinds of gross. You know, some people don't like the way enchiladas look. I love enchiladas. Not to say I love period sex, but I don't understand what the issue would be.
I don't either. I'm completely down for it whenever it is offered.
Did you say you love it though?
Oh yeah.
That's a pretty aggressive opinion on.
I mean, nothing makes me feel like a man like than having fucking blood from here to here, just looking like I murdered someone with my penis.
Ugh. It sounds like you prefer it.
No, I mean, it's just, I'm not going to wait around to just bang once a month.
I do like the idea of, you just treat it like an oil change. You're like, oh, well, it's that time of the month and I gotta go change this oil.
Exactly. Stick the dipstick in, see where the levels are at.
I like how we got from sex club to period sex.
Oh, yeah.
I look forward to where we're going now.
Your sex club story, was there more to that, or was it just the...
Oh, no. It was there was just a guy with 10 Super Bowl rings. I'm like, you can't really finger her. You can't really touch her that much. You're wearing 10 rings. It's right? What do you do whenever you hook up with a woman? Do you have to take those rings off one by one? What does she do while you do that?
Well, I don't have thumb rings on, so I don't have to worry about that. Well, no, hand on top.
But that's...
I mean, I'm not... They're also not loose enough that I'm worried about losing a ring inside someone.
Yeah, but wouldn't a ring hurt for the woman? Matt, are you sticking your ringed fingers in these women?
Well, they are stainless steel. It's fine.
They're stainless steel. Oh, Jesus Christ!
I mean, you don't want to have corroded rings. That looks weird.
I like how you immediately went with the thumb. You're like, no, I mean, I put a thumb in her butt, but
yeah.
Then I don't have to wear thumb rings. I'm like, you're really coming prepared for thumbs and butts and period sex, man.
You've listened to the show. This surprises you how?
You know what that reminds me? I was listening to your show today, and the chick that you had on, the woman, I don't remember what her name was. Damn it. Anyways, I didn't know that strippers went on the road.
Oh yeah, that's a full-on thing.
And the clubs that book them call them features.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a comic. That's what comics do.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Right? I mean, it's the same damn thing. It's, one is a lot sexier, I can tell you that. And it sounds like it's a lot more financially viable. Sounds like they make good money instead of no money.
See, that's what we have to encourage in the future for comics, is people making it rain on comics.
What do you mean?
Why is it socially acceptable to make it rain on a girl, but it's not socially acceptable to make it rain on a comic?
Hey, I back that. If that's your platform, I'm voting for you every time.
I think it's a thing we should start. We should start it being just encouraging. If you want to heckle, you got to make it rain.
No, I don't want claps, Don't stand. Put your money in the basket that's being passed around your tables right now with the checks. And,
It's not fucking church. Fuck that. No, they got to make it fucking full on like Atlanta strip club rain on you. Use the dollar bill gun. Nah,
dude, because if it's church, you don't have to pay taxes.
Well, no, you're a church. But I don't want it passed around like a fucking, you're tithing to the fucking comic. No, you dirty girl. I want to make it rain on you. Tell jokes. Make it rain.
Do you have to report money that you make it rain on?
I mean, they're tips. Legally,
tips, okay.
Legally, yes. whatever you do between you and your accountant and the IRS is between you and your accountant and the IRS.
I mean, I guess you have to pay taxes on like getting the rain. You know what I mean? But whoever gets the rain doesn't have to pay taxes because that's a tip.
Yeah.
All right.
I think 100% we've come up with something here. We should, going forward, we got to figure out how to work it into all touring comics acts that, encourage the audience to make it rain. Be like, just put on the flyers like bring singles.
Yeah. Or do you guys want to buy merch? Because it's going to be sad. It's going to be real sad coming over that table and talking to me and acting like, everything's cool and you're not noticing how weird everything is. And you're buying a shirt that says Blanche. And, or you can just throw money at me. It's not more fun.
Exactly. Especially when they see how excited you get in the middle of your joke as you're just like getting rained on.
If the joke bombs, they can throw coins. Make a wish.
Yeah, and if you're really talented, you can make a roll of quarters disappear, right?
I don't think I could.
Practice.
Oh man,
times will be tough.
You gotta work. I just think about that roll of pennies and your rings, and I'm like, these are all period things.
So coppery. Oh, so coppery.
So coppery. Yeah. We're really rolling with a, we got our color scheme down.
Just a metallic flavor in your mouth.
Oh, man.
This is the kind of podcast you signed up for. This is what you get for saying on Facebook, bring me on your podcast.
Hey, look, I'm dying for something to do, honestly. It's been so hard not doing the comedy thing. I was listening to these strippers saying they're turning drinks down. I'm like, man, we're just getting paid in 2 drink tickets. And I was like, but we're doing the same damn job. You ever dance for a couple? It's harder than dancing for one person,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you got to dance like the whole audience.
Yeah, but no one's trying to put their fingers inside you.
Yeah, well, I mean, some people do. That's just any large room of people. There's going to be a few of those, just statistically, that would be totally cool with putting a finger in your butt. They'd prefer it, like you with period sex, or or how much I prefer our color scheme that we've invented. But yeah, I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
Oh, we're talking about future comedy club patrons should tip like they're at strip clubs. That was the overall.
With the economy just collapsed, so I mean that's a GoFundMe. That's how we should GoFundMe everybody.
Singles and tips.
Make it rain, because if it's not enough, it's still going to feel good.
Oh, yeah. Nothing like getting back to your dirty motel room and just rolling around in singles.
Well, no, like at the end of the day, you can't go home and like tell your wife or somebody and be like, no, today, somebody made it rain on me this morning, but then after that, like lunch kind of sucked. You know what I mean? Like you have to like cash out and like somebody made it rain on you. That's a good day. It
is. Always brightens my day.
You know what I mean? That $1,200. Where is it now? I'm not telling anybody.
What $1,200? I don't know what you're talking about.
The stimulus money.
What? Well, I guess that's a thing. Did you get your stimulus check?
Didn't everybody get like $1,200?
Yeah. No, I did. I spent a quarter of it on groceries immediately.
God, are you having groceries delivered to your place?
I am.
That's fucking, so you guys are like on that hard of a lockdown.
I mean, I could go out and get groceries, but last time I went out to get groceries, shit made me so fucking angry. I'm like, fuck this.
What are people doing?
Okay. So, first and foremost, LA is mandatory masks right now, if you're in public. And I know that me wearing a mask doesn't protect me, but it does supposed to protect other motherfuckers from whatever might be coming out of my gaping holes. I get to the store. First and foremost, just half the motherfuckers no fucking masks on whatsoever. It's like, cool. We don't care. We don't care about our communities or people around us. Motherfucking security guard has his mask on his chin like this. Like just walking around like, you ignorant motherfucker, you're in here all fucking day. You have one of the highest risks of infection of anyone in this goddamn store, and you're not trying to protect people? Isn't that your fucking job, Mr. Security Guard? And then you add in motherfuckers are still rolling like whole family units deep into the store. You don't need 4 people to go grocery shopping.
Yeah. Take the truck by yourself for once.
Right.
You know what I mean? It'll feel good.
You ignorant fucks. They'll help you unload it. You don't need 4 people to make decisions on fucking groceries.
Oh yeah, if you're lazy, this is a great time. You're like, yeah, just sit at home and order Uber Eats every day, and everybody's like, you're doing great. You're really a hero, and you're like, yeah, no, I'm really doing the right thing.
Yeah.
It's a good time to be lazy. People are bringing shit to you. You don't have to get out of your car.
Yeah, but also, I mean, I don't mean to shit on gig workers, but almost every fucking delivery I've had to my house has been grossly incompetent.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, it's a delivery driver.
Okay. Here's a simple one. I ordered a fucking pizza. Requested no contact delivery. Ding dong. Okay. I wait a minute. I go get the food. Dude's still fucking standing there with the fucking pizza. He's standing there with the pizza. No fucking mask on. No gloves on. Fucking looking sweaty. I'm like, I'm not even sure I should take this pizza off him.
Well, you did order pizza in a pandemic. You know, so I mean, there is some responsibility on. I'm on the defense of the driver, as you can tell. But there is some responsibility to you to be like. It's kind of weird to be like, yeah, I got a pizza ordered in a pandemic. The guy brought it over, and he like seemed like he might be sick, and it sucked. And it's like, well, yeah, that's what I think ordering pizza in a pandemic would be like.
For sure, but when it's, hey, I'm making your job easier. You don't have to wait for me. You can put the pizza on the fucking ground and walk away. That you stood there and fucking waited for me?
Look, sometimes you're getting a lot of texts from a lot of people that are upset with you. You're a little distracted. And, you roll up to the place and you just do what you normally do because you're a robot. You're a drone. You walk up to the door. You knock on it. Dude opens up the door, looks at you weird. And in that moment, you think, fuck, I probably should have checked those directions. And then you just hand it to him, and you realize, well, I'm wearing a mask. He doesn't even know who I am.
Right. That's what the problem was.
This isn't my car. I'm out of here.
Dude wasn't even wearing a mask. That was the other beef. It's like, this is the point where LA is legally mandatory masks. And you're not wearing.
I feel like but see, like here where everyone's not wearing one, it's like, dude, as a Mexican from Texas who's lived there my whole life, like, you know how fucking uncomfortable it is for me to put on a bandana over my face and walk into a bank? Like any white woman could just yell, he's robbing me. And like, I am not just a suspect. Like I could be like, that's guilty. I'm wearing like it feels crazy to me.
No, I feel you. I feel you on that. And like, I do feel like a dick about it, but it's still like, I've worked as a delivery driver. I've done those jobs. It's not that fucking difficult to be like, especially when, at least in LA, no contact delivery is like the default on all the fucking deliveries right now.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah. I'm thinking about the time that I did that now. And I'm like, man, I did fuck that up. But I was like, the weed in Washington's too strong. I feel like that's not my fault. I didn't know that when I got here. They tell you, like, yeah, this is weed you're buying. And you're like, yeah, I know weed. Pretty familiar with weed.
You're like, I know Mexican brickweed.
Yeah. You're like, I don't even know what planet I'm on now. Let alone weed. But yeah, so, sometimes, people are yelling at you on your phone. You're way too high. And you end up knocking on that door, man.
No,
but it's a pandemic, so we chalk it up to pandemic.
Yeah, but I also feel I'm justified by being a little fucking pissed off. Like, hey, potentially exposing me to a fucking disease.
That does suck because you've been sitting in your apartment like this whole time, and it just have a dude show up and just breathe in your apartment, and it's fucked.
Yeah, and
that would suck.
I'm also trying to do the right thing, and like, I'm not ordering from fucking Domino's or fucking pizza. I'm ordering from like my local bar that I get pizza from.
That's like a higher class of delivery driver?
No. It's I'm trying to support a local business is the only part of the reason I'm ordering a fucking pizza. It wasn't just like,
oh, okay. So we're supporting local business.
Right. I'm supporting where I'd like to get drunk. In the only way I can right now.
Well, like, do you live in like a good neighborhood or
I live in Hollywood.
You live in Hollywood? Does that mean bad?
It's a little in between.
Yeah, like I always thought there were like two sides to Hollywood. There's like the like the casting couch side, drug side,
And
I don't know, the rich celebrity side.
there's definitely still some sketch. I mean, I haven't been outside except for today in a couple of weeks, and there's definitely homeless encampments around my apartment on a couple blocks either way.
We'll see. Like it's like I'm a big fan of fast food. I eat fast food all the time. What I realized with fast food places is that they have to hire local, right? No one's traveling to work at this Jack in the Box. No
Right.
one's traveling to work at this McDonald's. Other than like reasonable distances, but sometimes in a bad neighborhood, you'll be like, yo, why is this McDonald's taking like 35 fucking minutes to make me one thing? I'm the only person here. And then she seems pretty like upset with me whenever she hands it to me. And I'm like, oh, because like this is where I live. This is like a terrible neighborhood. You know what I mean? People are like getting shot. Like no one's in a good mood. Everything is terrible. But then it's like you go to a nicer side of town, you're like, McDonald's is like acting like McDonald's. They're just cranking them out. And you're like, oh, yeah, everybody's got to hire local. So, yeah, the thought is there. So if you live in a bad neighborhood in a pandemic, it's like, you know, you're probably going to get a shitty delivery driver.
Well, with LA and the way, because it's all the fucking delivery apps, none of the fucking places have their own delivery people anymore. So I feel like it's just wherever they fucking end up. It's like, oh, I got to call here. I got to call. People may end up wherever the fuck. And
see,
oh, go ahead.
No. Go ahead, please.
And that shit pissed me off. And then I did the whole fucking grocery delivery thing after my last grocery store experience. And the broad just got a bunch of shit wrong. Just a bunch of fucking shit wrong.
So what do you do? Is it like fresh produce or like
fresh produce? Some of the meat. She fucked up one of my frozen pizzas.
Oh, frozen pizzas, huh?
Yeah.
How do you fuck up a frozen pizza?
You don't get DiGiorno and grab the fucking house brand and then charge me for DiGiorno?
Matt, you're eating frozen pizza in your apartment in a pandemic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My privilege is showing. I see my privilege.
I'm just saying, man, I'm like, you know, we're all taking some L's.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know. I mean, it's one of those things where it's just like, come on, man. I know you're doing the, you know, anyone who's working in the pandemic is doing because they have to fucking work. But
oh yeah.
I'm fucking tipping like you're working in the goddamn pandemic. So I expect my shit to at least be right. I don't expect my frozen goods or my meat to come in at room temperature because it's taking you 2.5 hours to shop and get it to me.
No, I get that. And like they're like surging, I guess, or like they're gouging everybody.
Yeah.
Because we don't even see what the price is really. We just see what we make. And I don't make enough money working for Uber to order from Uber. So I don't really know what they're charging people.
I mean, why the fuck are you driving for Uber in this anyways?
Well, like in Washington, I could just log into the app and do it because I did it in Dallas. But like a DoorDash here, I tried to sign up and they're like, we're not even accepting people right now. And I was like, oh, because everybody's just trying to do it.
What about Instacart or any of the other spots? They're just not doing it?
No, like I haven't looked those up yet. And it's weird. Sometimes when I'm trying to sign up for places, it's like if you don't have a local address. And I'm like, I'm just kind of transient at the moment. So I'm like, Uber's just been the easiest thing.
Gotcha. I'm assuming you're not getting any fucking rides for the most part.
No. Like, no, I don't. Even in Dallas, dude, I bought in 2018, I bought a brand new Chevrolet Spark and I had it for about 3 weeks and they kicked it off of Uber. Like not my car specifically. They kicked like all Chevrolet Sparks off because it's a 4-door technically, but people hated it. Whenever you showed up in this Chevrolet Spark, they were so disappointed to like put their dates in the back of this thing. But apparently people were getting like blind drunk, waking up, you know, safely at home, upset about the car that they went home in. So they started writing letters and Uber was just like, no, we can't have Chevrolet Sparks. So I only do the Uber Eats now.
See, you know, I've done some Uber driving and I refuse to do Eats because in LA, there's no fucking parking in any of the goddamn restaurants. So it just was never worth it to do it for me.
Well, dude, you can order from places you never could have ordered from before, Matt, in a pandemic, because we can park anywhere.
Now.
Right? So I'm saying, you know, order those things that you wanted to get.
Oh, fuck that. I am trying not to spend money like that. I've eaten out twice since this pandemic started. Otherwise, I've been cooking for myself every fucking day. Actually, I take it 3 times. Because I had to put on pants today to go meet with a client, I went and got a fucking burrito. Because Mexican food delivers like shit.
Yeah. Goes in and comes out that way too. It's a rough food to love, Mexican food.
Oh, I was so happy with the fucking burrito. I went to my spot. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, I got a fucking burrito for the first time in 2 months.
What's your burrito spot?
A place called Cactus Number 1.
Cactus Number 1. That doesn't sound like it would be a good burrito spot. What is it, like a big building? Or
Oh, no, it's a little... There's 4 of them.
Mm.
And it's a little... The original... Number 1's the original. It's a little shack on Vine. Like, no indoor seating. You order through a fucking window, and then there's just outdoor benches around it.
Nice. I actually kind of like that.
Yeah. I took Bobby there last time he was in town. He swears by it, so if that Texas motherfucker says it's a good burrito, trust.
Yeah, he's up there in Austin now, man. I miss the food. I miss the Texas food. I do. Like, places in Seattle are literally just called, like, teriyaki. Like, that's just it. Like, it's just called teriyaki. And I'm like, okay, you guys like teriyaki. I get it. But it's like, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of, I'm sure people will tell me there's great places to eat in Seattle, but we've been eating at home every night. It's honestly been nice as a comic. Like, I've been eating dinner at the same time every night with, like, other people.
That's weird.
Right? I'm used to eating in, like, the back half of empty parking lots. You know what I mean?
No, I know that life. Oh, I know that life.
Right? It's, to me, it's like, I got upset when I was working for Uber Eats. I got an order, and, like, I don't know if you know this, like, if we can't find you, you can hit a button on the app. And, it starts like a clock. You got like 5 or 6 minutes. And if, like, you don't contact us, like, that's just our food now.
Right.
Right. Because we can just leave, and you still have to pay for it. And that happened to me. And I'm driving away from this dude's place. And I look in the bag, and it's McDonald's, and it's pancakes. And you can't really eat pancakes while you're driving. And they didn't put silverware in the bag, which upset me.
I mean, as long as you're not willing to put syrup on it, you could definitely eat pancakes while you're driving. Just fold that bitch and shove them in your face.
Well, I could have been more aggressive. But I get another order. It's going to IHOP. So I drive to IHOP, and I park in the fucking back of this parking lot. And I'm sitting there, and I'm eating these pancakes with my hands because there's no silverware. And a family in a van just pulls up next to me and just parks. And they're all just looking at me all of a sudden. I'm like, to me, it's like in the back half of an empty parking lot. That's for fucking, that's for drug deals, perverts, and people eating pancakes with their hands.
Or all of the above.
It's not for a family in a van that pulls up next to me in a half-empty parking lot.
Whoa.
And
that could be a family of perverts.
A family of perverts?
You never know.
Yeah, that sounds like a Showtime show.
It might be. I might be pitching that later. This family now is just looking at me eating fucking pancakes with my hands. And then they watch me, like, get out of that car, this little Chevrolet Spark, and they watch me walk into IHOP, grab 2 bags of pancakes, and walk the fuck back out. And this family's just looking at me like, what the fuck is this guy doing? You know what I mean? Like, he's just driving around from parking lot to parking lot, just slamming pancakes. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is going on? See, what would have been hilarious is the next dude doesn't show and you just end up with more pancakes.
Just more pancakes.
Yep. Just pancakes all day.
You just the Adrian Peterson of pancakes.
It'd be amazing. It'd be fucking amazing. Just all the pancakes. All of them. Besides Uber Eats and writing, what else have you been doing with your time?
I've been playing some games on my phone. I bought a controller for Fortnite. I feel like nobody sees it coming.
Wait, you're playing Fortnite?
You know what I mean? Yeah, on my cell phone. Because my Xbox is back in Dallas. But I went and bought an Xbox controller, which you can pair to the phone, and I highly recommend it.
So when you play Fortnite on your phone, are you playing against other phone players, or who are you playing against?
Like I think it logs me into a queue with people who are not playing with the controller. I can tell you that because I'm just destroying everybody. It's like when I was back home on my Xbox, it was way harder. It's like now I'm just like rolling through, and it's been a ton of fun. So I've been doing that. I've been reading. I've been and just writing. That's it.
Nice. Well, when you eventually get back to Dallas, we'll have to exchange gamer tags because I do play a fair amount of Fortnite.
Oh really? Yeah, man. Shit, we can go tonight.
Well, if we can party up with you on a phone.
Well, no, I think that's what's cool about Fortnite is I think you can pair from like any.
You can definitely cross-platform from like PlayStation and PC to Xbox. I have no idea if phone players can get in on the action.
Oh, I wonder if a VPN would. Oh, I don't know.
I have no fucking idea. But yeah, because as part of the quarantine, I've become a Twitch streamer. Yep. 39 years old.
Huh?
39 years old. Becoming a nerdy cam girl, essentially.
What are you Twitch streaming?
Fortnite, UFC 2, Borderlands 3. Just played through Streets of Rage 4.
Streets of Rage 4?
Oh, yeah.
I remember Twisted Metal. I don't remember Streets of Rage.
It's a Genesis game. Fucking Genesis.
Genesis game?
Yeah.
Sega Genesis?
Uh-huh.
You talking about Sega Genesis?
Yes, sir.
Are you playing like on like one of those emulator things, or are you playing like on the real thing?
So 1, 2, and 3 were on the Genesis. The 4th one came out last week. It's a brand new fucking game. They're like, we'll make a sequel 26 years later. Why the fuck not? Enjoy.
Did you enjoy it?
Oh, fuck yeah. It was a lot of fucking fun.
Is it like Twisted Metal? What are you doing?
No, it's a fucking side-scroller beat-em-up, Final Fight style.
Oh, like the X-Men.
Yeah, exactly. Like the X-Men arcade game, all the, beat-em-up games.
Simpsons.
Yeah. The kind of game that they don't make anymore. Like, just quarter-stealing fucking beat-em-ups.
Putt-putt. Yeah, that's what we had down here in this part of the country. It's like a miniature golf place.
Oh, gotcha.
Putt-putt. Yeah. Those were California, USA.
Afterburner. They always had like the fucking sit-down afterburner at one of those places.
I like the flying games. I don't remember what they were called. I don't remember which ones, but any ones that where you got a plane. I like those. And Mortal Kombat. You Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat?
Both.
Both. Oh, well.
Back in the day, both. These days, the last fighting game I was really into was like Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Oh shit, I dig that. I'm a big Marvel fan. Capcom, okay. Marvel 2, what did that come out on?
It was originally an arcade game and Dreamcast, so it came out in 99.
I never owned a Dreamcast.
It was a superior fucking system that Sega marketed like hot garbage.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you are you like a buy a new system when it comes out kind of dude?
Not anymore, but back in the day, oh yeah.
Yeah?
Back in the day, I was just like, I had a Dreamcast, I had a PS2, I had an N64, I had an Xbox, like I had them all. I was just like, but these days there's so few fucking console exclusive games. There's no reason to be like, I got all the systems.
Yeah. It's I did that. Yeah, I feel like in your 20s you have money like for the first time. You're just like, yeah, I'll buy like an Xbox every other month because this one I forgot at somebody's house. Not because I have a lot of money, just because I'm bad with it.
Well, I'm bad with it. In my 20s, I was living at home, so like no rent, just nothing but disposable income. It's like drinking and video games.
Yeah, what if you would have saved that money? You know what I mean? We both wouldn't be here.
I'm not sure that would be a better place in life. I mean,
you don't get buyer's remorse?
No. Fuck no.
No? Not on anything?
No. I
dude.
mean, part of me wishes that I'd quit the corporate job I had for fucking 10 years sooner.
I dig that. I like that. I was corporate for 8 years. But like, if you leave me in a line too long, I start putting shit back like before I even buy it. Like I always anything I buy, like I bought a fucking smart TV like right before they got cheap. Like remember when smart TVs were like $1,500?
Oh yeah,
or like $2,000? Yeah, like at like the one point in my life where I had a little bit of money, I spent a lot of it on a smart TV. And it's like fucking buying a Zoom. It's
Hey.
and everyone's like, yeah, I got this 60-inch TV for like $200. I'm like, fucking shit, I'm still paying off a smart TV from like 2013.
Why didn't you leave that debt with your wife? She should have gotten that shit in the divorce.
I think that's all poor people get in a divorce.
Exactly. But your goal as a poor person in a divorce is to pawn as much off on the woman as you're leaving.
Well, that's what you do with your emotional baggage and your problems.
Yeah, financial problems.
But you're like, you know what? This bad credit, I've had it since I was like 18. I'll be fine. It's all I know. I don't know. Like, it's like when you grow up in a shitty house. That's what having bad credit is since you were like 18. You're just like, you don't know why you don't leave. You could have just ran away. But you're like, I'm just kind of used to it.
Yeah, I'm institutionalized on that shit.
Yeah. I live in a bad neighborhood. I get shitty pizzas delivered to me from guys that look like they're sick. This is how I'm living. You know what I mean?
Sadly, my credit has gone in waves. It's like, oh, I had really good credit. Then I started a record label, and then I had really bad credit. Then I had a record label in the mid-2000s.
In the mid-2000s?
Yeah. It's a really bad time to get into the music business.
Well, yeah. Because, Cash 99 had everything. It's like, what were you going to do against those guys? They were. That's all they talked about.
Well, it's also just printing physical media at that point was like, oh, hey, everyone's stealing music for free. I'm going to try to make money at this.
Oh, yeah. You tried to backdoor Metallica.
Yeah. Didn't work so good.
Like, everybody's really mad at Metallica for wanting money for what they're doing, so we'll just start charging for it real quick. And maybe nobody will notice. Everyone will be distracted by Lars.
Yeah. Did not work so good. Did not. Great learning experience. Didn't work so good.
What kind of music was this?
Metal.
Metal, man. You into metal?
Oh, yeah.
That's your thing, obviously?
Yeah, it's not like what Slayer's my real last name.
No, I assume that. I've been on Xbox. I've seen some Matt Slayers.
Then you might have seen me.
I hope so. You're real good with the N-word.
No, not me. That's probably the 12-year-old who owns the fucking Twitter that is Matt Slayer without the goddamn underscore. That motherfucker.
I had a kid ask me what time ago. He's like, I was playing, what game was I playing? I was playing Destiny back in the day. I used to play Destiny a lot. I played like 3 games in the last 5 years, but a lot of them, of like those games, which was Destiny, Fallout, and Fortnite. Fortnite, because it was free. It's like, you can tell when I got poor. It's just like, oh, just Fortnite forever. Because it's free. Which Fortnite is cool for that. Like, if you buy that $10 thing that one time.
Yeah, the Battle Pass.
It's like, yeah, if you just knock those out, like you get enough tokens to just get the next pass. Which is like nice, it's like it just keeps going.
Yeah, they're just counting on you to have poor impulse control and see something shiny and want to buy it.
Yeah, I bought maybe 1 or 2 things, but I felt like that was like, hey, thank you for all of the free time. You know what I mean?
I bought one thing. I bought the Psylocke Psyblade harvesting tool.
Psylocke? Sawblade?
Psyblade. Like, you know how Psylocke has the fucking Psyblade she punches people?
Yeah, of course.
So they have it as a fucking harvesting tool.
Okay.
That's the only thing I've ever bought.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck, I would buy that too, honestly. I would legit. Are you an X-Men? Are you big X-Men?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that's my shit, man. I grew up on 90s X-Men. That's how I got into comic books. Before comedy, I was writing in small little things. Like my own comic books with people and anthologies and stuff like that from an online forum that we had for comic books. So podcasts. Before podcasts were a big thing, I feel like comic book nerds, at least for me, those were the first people that were podcasting.
Oh, without a doubt. They're like, oh, hey, we can talk about what we're passionate about. No one's going to stop us. Fuck yeah.
Well, because you needed an underground. You know what I mean? We're all fucking nerds. You know what I mean? You don't want to, it's, so, it's like, did you listen to any of those? Around comics or,
I mean, I may have caught a couple of them here and there. I unfortunately didn't get into podcasts till later than I should have.
Well, that's everybody with comedy, so I get it.
Yeah. I mean, I really got deep into podcasts when I started having a job where I could listen to them all the fucking time. So, and it's also back in those days, Apple did not make it easy to get fucking podcasts. It was just like, oh, here, have this podcast, download it to your iPod.
I don't even remember like how I listened to like around comics and all those back in the day. I guess it was on my iPod.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely had a couple podcasts where it's just like downloaded it from their website and then loaded it into my iPod, and it was like, it said podcast. I'm like, okay, whatever the fuck this is.
Dude, in my 20s, I would like go download an episode of iFanboy on Sunday and drink like 5 beers, just knock them out by myself. Just reading like that week's comic books, listening to iFanboy, and I look forward to it.
So
that was like a highlight of the week.
Hell yeah. Did you ever graduate onto other stuff beyond the X-Men?
Oh, yeah. No, I read comics for like my whole life. You know what I mean? Like, I think Swamp Thing by Alan Moore is probably my favorite run of all time. It's just like classic horror. I think it's like some of the best written horror.
Well, pretty much everything Alan Moore does is fucking great.
Mm-hmm. You a big Alan Moore fan?
Fucking. It's amazing to watch how many of his amazing comics just got turned into or horrible screen adaptations.
Yeah, it's funny to me how he turned down the money.
Oh, yeah. He's like, I have principles. Like, motherfucker, Watchmen probably made a lot of fucking money. I understand, Extraordinary Gentleman didn't make shit because it was garbage. But Watchmen and V for Vendetta probably made a lot of fucking money.
Oh, yeah. V for Vendetta is like at gas stations. That's how you know it did well.
Truckers watch that while they're not masturbating?
I guess, or driving. Yeah.
Oh, truckers are definitely masturbating while they drive.
I mean, I guess if you were living on the road, and you got to get to 45 for the president, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I mean, hell, the pandemic's probably great for them. Roads are wide open. They don't really have to pay attention while they jerk off.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been an over-the-road trucker. I'm just assuming that, hey, one hand on the wheel, one hand on your meat.
You got to. You know what I mean?
Now, the question is, if you're an over-the-road trucker, do you throw a condom on for easy cleanup in the truck, or do you just let that fucker rip?
I mean, you're already a trucker that's jerking off on the highway. You know what I mean? What did you think you're going to... Is this the time to get insurance? No, you're on the highway. Dickhead. Like, it's not... It's no time to buy insurance.
I don't know. Do you really want to sit in your own filth for 400 miles?
But also, if an insurance agent called you at that moment and was like, hey, you want insurance? You'd be like, I probably should.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be, if Alexa can tell, what you're talking about all the time, and like they can show you ads, it's like somebody, call this trucker when he's jerking off and be like, hey, man, you should probably get insurance.
Just ruining that erection or making it really hot for him. I don't know. It depends on what your kinks are.
I'm just trying to help.
Help the truckers. Help whoever's on the road with them. I support Teamsters. Thank you for keeping our supply chain open.
Well, when we have automated cars, you know what I mean, in the future, electric cars, and they're just driving around on a grid and we don't have to do shit, there's going to be a lot more people jerking off in cars. You know what I mean? So, I mean...
Oh, there's going to be so much more car sex?
Oh, I'm not trying to say this trucker is ahead of the curve, you know what I mean? Or he fell through some kind of,
Oh, whoa. Why are you acting like it's one singular trucker doing this? It's a lot of truckers.
No. I mean, one is in many. It's like Fight Club. This trucker, he's got a CB radio. That goes somewhere. You know what I mean? And it's not that far. It's a CB radio.
Wonder if truckers, have sex talk with each other over CBs.
Do they still have CBs?
I have no idea.
You have no idea?
I have no idea.
We're both just pretending like we know this trucker that's on the lonely highway.
East of Omaha?
Any truckers. Do what?
East of Omaha. Sorry, I had to throw that fucking Silver Bullet Band reference in there real quick.
Oh, I thought that was the Counting Crows song.
No. On the lonely highway east of Omaha. It's turn the page. Or Metallica.
Did Metallica write that?
No, Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band.
Okay.
It's a
Sorry.
cover.
Yeah. Okay. We worked in reverse there. I got what you're saying. I'm a big music head, and I was like, no, that's a Bob Seger song.
It is a Bob Seger song.
Okay.
Metallica cover. Anyways, we got sidetracked on we need to get back to masturbating truckers.
No. They need our help.
They do. Hopefully the sound of my voice is helping them get to wherever they need to go.
Guys, stop right now, pull over, get insurance. You know what I mean? What you're doing is noble, but it's dangerous. And, you know what I mean? We don't see you, but we're praying for you. And, just get that insurance. Thank you. And you're going to get a sponsor for this podcast. And I want you to send me half that check, please. I really need the money. I'm stuck in Seattle.
I don't know. I'm not sure how stuck you are.
Well, you know,
You may have to go back to Texas. I mean, are you really looking forward to going back to Texas besides your Xbox being there?
Well, as long as comedy comes back, you know what I mean? I was at this point in my career where I was, on the road quite a bit, but I was mostly like playing in towns almost exclusively people wouldn't choose to live in. You know what I mean? It's like these are places you just grow up, or you get like, moved in a job for, like Tulsa.
Odessa.
You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. No, I don't think I ever did Odessa.
What? No oil money for you? What the fuck?
No, that's just oil rigs, man. It's you work in an oil field all month. You're just doing hard drugs and whatever you're into. The comedy. You're not doing comedy.
But there's often hard drugs around comedy.
I feel like there's not anymore. I feel like comedy's changed so much. Where it's like comedy now is like dudes that are like eating clean. Like they're telling you about their keto diet. I was at an open mic recently. I asked people, I was like, hey, does anybody have a lighter? I was going to smoke a cigarette. Nobody had a lighter. It's like 20 comics. Like, how does nobody in 20 comics have a fucking lighter? What kind of open mic is this? You know what I mean?
That's
everybody
pretty lame.
just has a pocket full of kale or some shit. I'm like, so we're living in better times, I think.
So you got to come out to LA. There's still plenty of hard drugs and lighters at open mics here.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Still plenty of people.
What are you guys doing in LA?
I mean, there's still plenty of blow going around. Well, and, legal California weed.
This legal weed is crazy. It is. It seems way more aggressive than it needs to be.
Well, I mean, eventually you build up a tolerance to it, so it needs to be there.
Well, dude, it's like for somebody new to this thing, you buy a pen. It's like, I could get that high in the middle of it. I don't need to get that high at the top of it. You know what I mean? The first couple ones, you get introduced. You don't just walk somebody in your house and just beat the shit out of them. You know what I mean? It's like, introduce yourself.
I don't know. If they deserve it, they deserve it. And maybe you deserve to be that high.
Well, it's nice.
See?
Especially when you're living on an airbed, you might as well be.
Exactly. See, you're just making it through your pandemic the best way you possibly can.
You think you can fall asleep on an airbed at 35 sober? You can't.
I mean, I can't fall asleep anywhere sober, so.
Anywhere sober, yeah.
I mean, I choose not to. Those are poor life choices. Going to bed sober? Why would you want to do that?
That's like an old Doug Stanhope. But like, when's the last time you went to bed sober, Matt?
I mean, if I wasn't doing a bit about 3 hours ago when I took a nap on the couch.
Do a bit. You don't do comedy. Oh, that's the last time you went to sleep sober, fucking taking a nap.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can sleep better now.
I do say funny things. I just don't do comedy.
Well, that's why you have a podcast.
Exactly. So I can force people to hear my bullshit. So I can inflict my bullshit on my guests, and they're like, is this fucking over yet? God damn it. And my loyal listeners that I don't know why you stick with me, but I really appreciate the fuck out of you.
We all do in a pandemic. You know what I mean? We're all lucky to be doing whatever the fuck we're doing.
I mean, to be honest, and I've talked about this before, I fucking hate remote podcasts. I hate this. I'm happy to have you on, but I hate this.
I've hated Zooms. Everybody you know would like insist. They're like, hey, we have to Zoom. Like set up a Zoom. And it's like people think that you're saying fuck you if you want to just talk on the phone.
Oh,
Like 3 months ago, anything past a text message was like aggressive from the other person.
right.
Now I don't want to Zoom with you. And like I'm being, aggressively a jerk.
I know people are fucking butthurt about it. Absolutely fucking butthurt. What do you mean you don't want to get in the group chat? What do you mean you don't want to get in the group Zoom? Like, motherfucker, I don't have pants on. I don't want to be on video right now.
Yeah. I used to not be seen everywhere. You know what I mean? Like I like them, you gotta you're not trying to draw attention. You know what I mean? If you're a trucker jerking off on the highway, keeping a low profile. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to Zoom. He doesn't want to Zoom with everybody.
Well, especially
You know what I mean?
because he's got just fucking lag while he's fucking driving, and then you may see a shot of his dick depending on his camera position. Nobody wants that. I mean, he might want that. That might be what he's into.
Dude, but you know what? I feel I get upset about lag, but it's like, you know what? Lag is great. You're 39, I'm 35. It used to take me like 25 minutes to load up like a titty, and that was just a picture.
Oh yeah, I was done before it loaded.
Yeah. You had to commit to a fucking thumbnail longer than most people that commit to other shit now. You know what I mean?
I had to commit
to a thumbnail and you're like, I hope I love this titty.
I had to commit to a thumbnail longer than I could commit to most of my relationships.
Yeah. Once you click that button, it's over. You can't click 2. You can't click 3. There's no poly fucking titties back then. You know what I mean? You picked one and you waited 20 minutes and you hope nobody walked in.
Yeah, and you hope them tits were nice. It's like, oh man, that's a bad areola. Well, I guess this is my mate tonight.
A bad areola.
Come on, some areolas are fucking bad. You can't admit. You have to be able to admit that.
Oh, dude, I've got them. I've got terrible. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Let's see them. Come on. Let's see them.
No. I'm not. You can see them through the shirt because they stay hard. You're
bashful? You're bashful all of a sudden? How are you going to have anyone make it rain on you if you can't even show your areolas?
Dude, you tell jokes. You don't show your areolas. That's if I was showing my areolas, I'd be making money. I'd be on the road. I'd be a feature. Working in New York.
Not if you have sad areolas. Not if they're sad.
Dude, there's a market for everything now if you'll show it.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Oh, I know. That's plan C to jerk off for bears, so.
Yeah, bad areolas, whatever your thing is. You know what I mean? Like, everybody can find their people now. And all that led to was just weird porn on the internet.
Hey, I'm not kink shaming. If you're into it and it's consensual, go for it.
Comic book podcast and weird porn on the internet. That's what the internet's given us at this point.
Yeah, and racist children.
Fortnite.
Yeah, racist children screaming at you at Fortnite.
Racist children screaming at you at Fortnite. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Like, where the fuck are your parents, you goddamn 12-year-old calling me, like a fucking cocksucker? Where are your parents?
Hey, where are your parents? Yeah, they're in the room next to them. You know what I mean? They don't give a shit. This is fucking Tennessee or whatever. You know what I mean? They're just being aggressive.
Well, they're like, the Fortnite will raise him.
Yeah. He's a winner. He doesn't care what he has to say. He's like the president. You know what I mean? You just say what you got to say. You get in there. You get in their heads.
It says Battle Royale Victor. My baby's a Battle Royale Victor.
Dude, I've got enough Victoria Royales. I felt like I had to go to bed just to feel okay about myself. I was like, I'm obviously playing this too much. This is, I think maybe it's like that's the moment you realize you're like, I think this is for kids. I probably shouldn't be playing this at like 3 a.m. Like that trucker, I need some sleep. You know what I mean? I shouldn't be up this late.
Oh no, you gotta stay up that late to fucking fuck up the Europeans when they get on.
Well, dude, you're winning at Fortnite at 3 a.m. You're losing at everything else.
Not in the quarantine.
It's pretty hard.
Time does not matter in the quarantine.
Oh, time? Okay. Time's a flat circle in the quarantine. This is all True Detective.
Well, a lot less weird murder, but yeah.
Weird murder. What did happen in True Detective?
I was drunk for most of it. I don't fucking remember. Something about the Red King or was that... Fuck, I don't...
That's Game of Thrones.
No, the Red King is not Game of Thrones. This is not plot synopsis with Matt Slayer.
But I watched it. I tell people I liked it. I don't really remember what happened.
I liked some of the performances. I don't think I saw it all the way through, and then I started watching season 2 and went, nah, not feeling this. Which most of
When I think about
America felt they weren't feeling it.
well, everybody loved the first season.
Yeah, and then nobody loved Vince Vaughn.
Well, yeah, Vince Vaughn. That's who he is. That's what he did. You got to have fucking what's his name's fucked up nose to make Vince Vaughn look okay.
Oh, Owen Wilson?
Yeah, that worked. You know what I mean? But I feel like anybody past that, it's just fucking Vince Vaughn is awful.
Swingers is one of my favorite movies, but he also plays an awful character in that movie.
But dude, he helps in that movie though. I love Swingers. You're right. That is a great fucking movie.
But Trent's like a good friend, but a horrible person.
Well, yeah, but he like helps the dude through the whole thing.
Right,
Takes
exactly.
to Las Vegas.
Yeah, no, he takes him to Vegas. He looks out for his friend. He's just a horrible person the whole time while he's helping.
Well, yeah, but that's anybody's good friend. You know what I mean? I got so many friends that would just be that exact person, and I love them.
I mean, I do too, especially in the 90s where we didn't know any better.
Well, as a guy, you gotta have a dumb friend.
Oh, I have a few.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Right? It's the way, that's survival. You gotta have. I always say, like, if you don't know this, penguins before they get in the water, they push one in. If that dude doesn't get eaten by seals, the rest get in. That's your dumb friend. Do you know what I mean? Like, he lets you know, like, yeah, don't eat at that new Mexican restaurant down the street. I got food poisoning. You're like, cool, I'm not going to go there. And he's like, yeah, I went back 2 weeks later. I got it again. And you're like, that's why I keep you around. Because you keep me safe. You do things like that. Yeah. Thank you for double checking.
Yeah, and then that guy ends up with multiple kids, and you're like, what the fuck happened?
No. At this point, at my age now, I'm like, that's exactly what happens. Is anybody else noticing this? This dude is the one that's having.
It's like, dude, come on. You haven't learned to pull out by now?
Oh, man. No kids. We did it.
Yeah, I mean, at least no
35, 39.
No kids I'm paying child support on, at least.
I'm Mexican. You work in porn. One of us should have had a kid by now.
Oh, yeah, no, that's the beautiful part about, like, mostly sleeping with people that need their bodies for work. They're not looking to get pregnant.
Well, yeah, but it's also like that's high risk, high reward. You know what I mean? Like, if you're in the NFL, you're hoping not to lose this game. You're very competitive, but you're gonna take some L's.
Well, thankfully, I've never taken any of those L's. Thankfully, most people who sleep with me realize that, like, no, I do not need his genetic material growing inside me.
Man, you think if on a porn set, like, they don't know who the father is, and some kind of like scene, and nobody's like, oh fuck, we're all gonna have to figure out something. We don't know who the dad of this thing is. It's kind of like forgetting your password on Pornhub.
Oh my god!
You're like, I'm just guessing.
I feel like that's the remake of 3 Men and a Baby. It's a gangbang and a baby.
Yeah, and we don't know who the father is.
Exactly.
But we've got 3 guesses. And if it's not those, they're gonna lock us out. You know what I mean? And
no,
there goes all those playlists.
What was that? Tom Selleck, Ted Danson, and who was the third father?
I don't even remember.
But come on, tell me that wouldn't be a great 2020 remake of 3 Men and a Baby that, like, they all fucking met on a porn set.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's they all met on a porn set. I mean, like, was Charlie Sheen in that movie? He should have been.
No.
We're going to remake it.
No.
We're going to remake it.
Oh yeah, well, you can't use Charlie now. He's got AIDS.
Well, that's acting. That's why he's there to act.
He wasn't very good at acting that he didn't have AIDS.
The fuck is the stunt double? You know what I mean? Like, Charlie's there for the celebrity film.
Well,
yeah?
I wasn't thinking that we made a porn version of it. I mean, that's actually
the original Tiger's Blood.
Yeah. Oh yeah, AIDS is the original Tiger's Blood.
No. Charlie Sheen.
Right. He was talking about his AIDS.
But he called it Tiger's Blood, and that's branding.
Well,
because I didn't know the difference. I just found that out. I just found that out that was his AIDS. I thought he just had something on it.
Yeah, no, he's just good at marketing.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of brand. You know what I mean?
I mean, for fuck's sake, his real name is fucking Carlos Estevez. He's all about branding.
Yeah. Well, there you go. These are successful people.
Much
You know
more
what I mean?
successful than I'm ever going to fucking be.
We all hit our face. Facebook was like, hey, we're called Facebook. Everybody signed up. Yeah.
Yeah. What happened to Tom and MySpace? Nothing.
Nothing. Because he was our friend.
He was.
What happens to your friends? Yeah.
Yep. Your
Right?
friend. Your
Your guy
friend.
was like, on Facebook. You're like, I hate it. And you're like, yeah, I'll sign up.
Yeah. Your friend Tom got fucking filthy rich and is off being a weird photographer. That's what your friend Tom did.
Oh, dude. If you become a photographer over like the age of 30, I think, like that's just like, it's like, okay, well, you're now a suspect, just like in case anything happens. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like
just around.
I feel like it depends on what kind of photographer you become. If you're like, hey, Time Warner bought me out, and I'm filthy rich, and I just go around traveling the world taking fucking photos of whatever I want, you're not a suspect in shit because you're fucking way too rich. If you're like, oh, I take party photos and I'm 35, yeah, you're a little suspect.
Well, dude, if you're over 35 and you're into photography, that's fine, you know. But if you're over 35 and you become a photographer, that's when people are like, you know, it's the same thing as becoming a comic. You know, people are like, I'm sorry, did you say photographer? You're a photographer now. Like, who do you work for? You know, and it's like, oh no, bud, you know, and
I'm freelance.
yeah. And nobody wants them. People kind of sometimes aggressively don't want me to do it. But yeah.
Yeah, just don't become a photographer in your 30s. Just don't become a photographer. It's 2020. Everything can be in motion. You don't need stills.
Well, if you're over 35 and you tell your friends, I've started making movies, everybody's thinking the worst.
Not in LA. Not
I mean,
in LA.
nobody's thinking, really?
Well,
if somebody told you over 35 they started making movies, not that that's been their dream their whole life, but they started making movies, you're like, oh no, I hope I'm not in one right now.
not in LA, because this is Neverland.
Really?
Dude, I'm 39. I started this podcast at 35. See? No one blinks.
I started comedy at 30.
See?
I was way too old. Yeah?
Yeah.
We were too old to do this.
Yet we're still doing it. What does that say about us?
I always say, it's like, you know how hard it is to like tell your family that you decided to become a comedian? Like, imagine telling like the person you married. Imagine telling your family, like, hey, my spouse has decided to become a comedian. It's got to be way harder.
I don't know. I told my family I work in porn.
But if you had to tell your family, hey, my wife works in porn.
Oh, I'm sure.
Which
that
one
will
do you think they
happen
would be
at some
more
point.
upset about?
I'm sure that will happen at some point.
Which one do you think they'd be more upset about?
I honestly don't care.
You don't care?
I don't care at all. Not one fuck given. I live my life for me.
For you?
For me.
Oh, man. That sounds nice.
Well, why the fuck are you living by the other people's fucking judgments? You're a fucking comic.
Oh, no. You can do whatever you want to do, but it doesn't mean you feel great about it. You think this airbed feels great? No.
Well, smoke a little more and it'll feel amazing. It'll feel like a plasticky hug.
This is sleeping on clouds and hitting rock bottom at the same time. That's what I'm saying.
Right? That should be fucking merch.
You can do the same thing.
Holy fuck, that should be merch. Sleeping on clouds and hitting rock bottom at the same time. Come on. That's amazing.
It's all about branding. What did I say?
There you go. There you go. I would much rather hit rock bottom and sleep on clouds than work a job I fucking hate and be miserable every goddamn day.
You said you hated doing armed security?
I did.
Heard that today?
I did.
What you hate about armed security? You were like, yeah, we just had millions of dollars and we were doing armed security, and then it just got weird. And it's like, no, that just sounds like, that sounds like a night. That doesn't sound like a 12-year job or whatever.
So when I started at the job, it was a family-owned business out of Chicago, and it really was the inmates running the fucking asylum. It was wild. I rolled in like November 1st one year, like, I slept off the drunk in uniform in the parking lot.
All right.
My partner had to wake me up in the parking lot to go inside. He's like, just stay away from management, man. You smell like a goddamn still. Shit like that happened all the time. And from what I heard from the old school guys, in the 80s, like 70s and 80s, it was even wilder. Like, there used to be a bar across the street from the branch that guys would walk in there like it was a Wild West saloon, just hand the bartender their gun and start drinking.
That sounds like that old Western that was on Netflix recently.
Mm.
You know what I'm talking about? Like that the brothers made? Fuck.
I don't know it.
The comedy, the Farrell brothers.
I didn't see it.
You know what I was talking about. If I can think about it, damn it.
I'll find it. I'll definitely find it. But it was just it was a wild place. And then we got bought out by a corporation, and we went national, we went corporate. Shit stopped being a lot less fun. They started fucking with our money at one point. I ended up moving to Vegas for porn, but I was still working there because I didn't trust that I would be making enough money in porn.
Like, where did you move to Vegas from?
Chicago
To Vegas to do porn. Like, how do you know? Like, it's like that's like getting like a rap deal or like having a mixtape hit. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go do porn in some other city. Like, that's a thing.
Yeah, well, so Chicago at the time had like 7 or 8 girls who shot for Burning Angel, who all partied at a bar I hung out at. And through them, I met a bunch of other people in the industry. And because I had a security background, I met some people. I started going on the road with girls on weekends. And a director friend of mine took a shine to me. He's like, I'm opening up a studio in Vegas. Move west. I'll have a job for you. So I took that shit with a grain of salt. I transferred my job out to Vegas. And I moved to fucking Vegas on a month's notice. The studio never really opened. I kept going on the road with girls. I kept working the armed security gig. And then I ended up just traveling all the fucking time for the armed security gig. I got moved into fucking management while still doing fucking porn gigs on weekends.
What security firms like? It's like I would get denied for like having like a marijuana arrest. And they're like, yeah, I do porn on the weekends. They're like, cool.
Oh yeah, I'd been there so long, and you got to figure it's like a very alpha male fucking work culture. It's a bunch of dudes. So telling upper management like, yeah, I work at porn. They're like, really? Can you introduce me? Like, no, I can't.
I think that must be like, is that like a Hollywood or a Nevada or like LA thing? That like you can be like, yeah, I work in porn, and people just like understand. I mean, like in Texas, if you're like, I work in porn, people are like, I'm sorry, what?
I worked regionally in the South. I worked for that company in like Charlotte, North Carolina, Atlanta, all over Florida. Hell, I even worked in fucking Richmond, Texas for them a couple times. That's how I ended up in Dallas a handful of times. No one even blinked. They're just like, Matt's eccentric.
You can get by being a little eccentric. You know what I mean?
And they made me shave off my mohawk at one point, but...
Man, I had a mohawk when I was like 22, 21.
Yeah, I was 29 in uniform carrying a gun and money with a mohawk.
Oh, dude. When I got a mohawk, that was the first time I realized I was going bald. And I was like, oh, this is so not punk. This feels terrible. This feels awful. This feels like the opposite of whatever a punk song feels like when it's really good. You know what I mean? Like, I just realized I'm going bald with a mohawk. Like, this is terrible.
Oh, no, I definitely was feeling it too.
Complete irony.
Like, I just had too much forehead. Too much forehead for the fucking mohawk. Like,
how do you have too much forehead for a mohawk?
Because it's like my fucking hairline was going back.
Oh, okay. Listen, you're making a mohawk sound like a helmet.
No, it's just, you know what I mean? My hairline was going back, so the mohawk's like starting a little too far back. And I wasn't putting it up all the time, so it's kind of floppy. And
does anybody see a Slayer t-shirt and like a 10 rings and then just like look up and see a mohawk and be like, well, that's the line? You know what I mean? I think you're doing fine. You know what I mean? Like, you can still rock a mohawk if you want to.
I mean, last year I full on grew out hockey hair, so I was like, I'm gonna grow my hair back out. I'm fully self-employed these days. And then
hockey hair. What does that mean?
My hair got down to about here, and because like the receding hairline and how my hair curls, it just looked like fucking I was a goddamn hockey player.
Is that a known thing? Is that I don't know. Like we didn't really have ice rinks where I was growing up. So it's like, is that a thing?
Go back and look at some of the video podcasts from last year. If you see it, you're like, yep, that's hockey hair.
Are you describing a mullet? Is that what you're calling? Is this you fancying up a mullet?
I mean, it was not a mullet because it was all the same length, but it did not, because of my receding hairline, could be described mullet-esque.
Okay, is this a mullet in Florida? Is this a mullet in Florida? And they just call it something different?
Well, no, because it was not business. It was not business it was not business in the front, party in the back. It was receding hairline in the front, party everywhere else.
Yeah. Like if you wear a fucking t-shirt, tuxedo, and an El Camino with a mullet, doing about 80 on any highway, you will time travel. That is a real thing. That's how Rick and Morty started. That's the genesis of the whole show.
Well, shit, I need to go do that. Yeah. Go back to the 90s where I could pop a load over my shoulder. Yeah.
And when no one sees us ever again, this YouTube episode is going to live on forever. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like this how Rick and Morty ended, like when it started. And it's like, yeah. They killed each other guys and time bended.
Well,
wearing a fucking t-shirt, tuxedo shirt, and an El Camino, doing 80 on any highway.
I mean, after all, I wanted to get into entertainment to have a legacy, so apparently this is it. Me talking about popping loads over my shoulder and shit, as we talk about time traveling in an El Camino.
If you're working in porn and you're not trying to get anybody pregnant, it feels like, that's not what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't want to have fucking some ungrateful piece of,
It feels like you're flirting with legacy. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm non-committal. What can I say? I'm just dipping my toes into legacy.
I don't gamble. I just work at a casino. I just like to see it. Yeah, that'd be a fucked up person.
So, I mean, let's call him a spade. I'm a fucked up person. What about it?
I don't know. You start a podcast.
Yeah. I started a fucking podcast.
And you make money from it, which is what I learned from your episode today.
Yeah, not like I'm fucking balling from it, but yeah, I make some money from this.
I'm winning at Fortnite, feeling bad about it, and then falling asleep in an air mattress. I could be making money from that.
You could at least be Twitch streaming and try to make money from that if you're playing Fortnite, though. You don't know what Twitch is?
No. I know what it is. I just feel like, it's like, I don't know. There's a certain time, like 10 years ago, where you just can't hang around like Toys R Us. You know what I mean? Like, that's not.
Hey, I'm 39 and I'm Twitch streaming, so whatevs.
No, dude. Hey, I support you, not financially, because
if you have an Amazon Prime account, hint to the audience, you can support me for free.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Well, one day, whenever I get health insurance, the next thing I'm going to do is get an Amazon Prime account. So I get fully signed up for America. That's when you really become a citizen. People won't tell you that. Is you have to get an Amazon Prime account.
Yeah.
or the trucks cry when they go out in the morning.
Right? Just poor COVID-infected truckers just upset every morning.
We shut down because we didn't give Amazon enough money, and he got so upset. They're like, everybody shut down. We're just going to do this handoff from now on. We don't want to see you. This is a silent treatment from Amazon. That's what this is.
With all this downtime, why aren't you writing a cartoon or a comic? Why aren't you doing that shit?
Oh, well, that would take dedication and time and persistence. What I have is a lack of focus, too much time, and yeah.
I mean, the too much time is fucking real. Don't get me wrong. I totally get that.
Right? It becomes, I forget. I ask people, I'm like, hey, how long have I been here? Like I'm lost at sea or something. Like, hey, how long have I been here? Because I don't trust me. I'm just like, hey, can you tell me, please?
Are you at least eating some oranges so you don't get scurvy?
Oh, no, dude. I eat terrible every day, all the time. It's consistent. It's the one thing I have is my brand is I just eat terrible food. I walk to the 7-Eleven down here. This dude looks at me that works there. I'm like, dude, I've seen you every day for the last however long I've been here. Every day. if one of us has it, we both have it. Stop looking at me like I'm trying to like I'm here to ruin your day. You know what I mean? Like we're in this together at this point.
I mean, you two might as well fuck so somebody gets laid.
Well, no, I'm like, he has to work 2 shifts in a pandemic. What kind of job you got where you got to work doubles in a pandemic?
Well, and seriously, if you're working a $15 an hour job right now, why are you not getting yourself fired to get that plus 600 in unemployment?
Because you're not ambitious. I know that answer, but like, because you're not ambitious.
No, because you don't know how to game systems. Because if I was working a $15 an hour job right now, I 1,000% would be fired the first day. They're like, oh yeah, plus 600 on your unemployment. You're like, yep, I'm getting fired today.
Yeah. I don't know. I worked some terrible jobs, I think, for a long time, where I wish I would have had that. A pandemic kind of helps you realize, like, oh, I should probably, like, this isn't worth it.
Yeah.
So, when the economy was good, you could work a shitty job for like 10 years, not even notice.
I mean, I did work a shitty job for 10 years, but also by the end of it, I was making nearly 6 figures. So,
oh, dude, I worked 8 years at Prego's Pizza Italian place in Plano, Texas, for 8 years. I went from delivery driver to the guy that just kind of yelled at the kitchen, to just kind of doing everything until one day I was like, oh shit, I've been here 8 years. You know what I mean? It's like I just kind of woke up one day. I was like, oh, I got to get out of here. I got to stop wearing a polo every day where it says Pragos on it. Like I can't. Like when this girl left for college, like I knew this girl whenever she worked here. Like she couldn't even drive, and now she's come back from college. She's got another job, and it's like, oh, you're doing better than me. I'm like, oh, well, I got to get out of here. Yeah, I've been working at this pizza place way too long.
Well, I mean, all you had to say was I had to get out of Plano because I was there for 8 years. So,
oh, do you know Plano?
Oh, I've been to Plano.
You've been to Plano?
I've been to Plano.
Oh man, Plano's
I had to work in Plano, so.
Really?
Yep.
You didn't tell me that. Where did you work in Plano?
I worked for this armored car company in Plano. Part of our rollout, I had to fucking deal with the branch in Plano.
Armored car rollout in Plano?
Uh-huh.
Is that like for a rich person, or was it for...
No, bank trucks. Like, that's the
okay.
That's the armed security gig I did. I worked for an armored car company.
So to me now, you're in Dark Knight. You know what I mean? In the beginning of that movie. It's like you're one of those people.
Oh, no. Think more like the beginning of Heat.
Okay. All right. I can do both.
Which I've mentioned on there before. The beginning of Heat definitely cost me a girlfriend right as I started that job.
Oh, really? What does that mean?
Because I started the job and then we watched that movie and, they kill the 3 fucking guards in the beginning of the fucking movie. And she's like, you can't take this job. I'm like, I already started this job.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm going to be a badass. But you know what I mean?
She didn't see this.
That's pretty awesome.
She didn't see this and like, you're going to be a badass. She's like, oh, fuck, you're going to get murdered. I have no faith in you. Please, I actually like you. I don't want to see you get murdered.
I feel bad, Matt. That is kind of a lack of faith. I mean, you do have an armored truck. She's like, I don't think you're going to make it out of there. She's like, despite the fact you have this armored truck and that gun and the law of the country on your side, she thought,
yeah, she's like,
I don't know.
I'm with you, but I feel like I don't feel like any real confrontational situation you're going to survive. So you probably should quit that job, bitch.
Yeah. Oh man, it's like ODB backwards. But if he got his life together and didn't end up however he ended up, I don't know. I assume not good.
I mean, he ended up dead.
See, I figured.
He did do the ODB did do the ballerest move ever, which was cash a welfare check on MTV.
Yeah, that's why they call it Yo MTV Raps. Yeah.
Right, that is the ballerest move in the history of fucking MTV.
Dude, and in an alternate reality, like time just like that show started with that clip with Lester saying, and that's why they call it You Want to Saturday Night Live. You know what I mean? And it just began. And it was like, and that began a tradition that carried on for time.
Like as a child, when seeing that clip, I'm like, that's pretty funny. As an adult, like that's mind-boggling.
Yeah. No, yeah. it's gonna fuck you up, especially if you're smoking that weed in Washington. You know, what I mean, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna weigh you down. You're gonna be up all night on that air bed. You know, what I mean, you're floating on clouds. But when do you get off? You know, what I mean, it's
But yeah, I've been to Plano. Been stuck there for a little time.
Plano. That is so weird. When like, never mind. That's how I get
2014. I was there in 2014.
2014. When did I graduate?
Or 2013. It was 2013 or 20. Somewhere between 2013 and 2014.
I think that's around the time I graduated college. I mean, high school in Plano. Senior high, we were right in the middle. You know what I mean? We were.
You're 9 years.
We're like the libertarians.
You're 9 years younger than me. You should not have been graduating in 2013.
Oh no! I'm sorry, 2003.
I'm like, how much did they hold you back? You graduated in 2013. Jesus.
But they couldn't hold me back. You know, that'd be pretty impressive. If you go to senior year 10 years in a row and you graduate high school, that should be a doctorate. You know, like just like hard knocks. Like you get to just teach children from there on out.
At that point, they let you go into the faculty lounge. They're just like, you work here.
That's how you become the manager in the Boys and Scouts of America. It's like you're not the manager of a YMCA locally, you know, and oh man,
I just did bad math. I'm like, you're 4 years younger than me, not 9 years younger than me, not 30.
2003. I remember that diploma. It's somewhere. I'm sure it's right next to my birth. You know, next to everything.
Your ex-wife probably has all that shit somewhere.
Oh man, you know. I guess I hope. I don't know. You know, I guess it depends on when I need it.
Are you two remotely civil or?
No, we're very civil. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think so. You know, you never know sometimes. You're like, sure if I can see that journal. Yeah, I do. But yeah, I'm in Washington, so you know, things are going great. You know, you don't end up halfway across the country.
This is true. This is very true.
You know, I guess things were going good. You know, I'm kind of sobering up, and I think things were good. I ended up in Washington, and you know, but the weed here's strong, so that's good. That's the first thing. You know,
helps you forget.
7-Eleven. Dude, the 7-Eleven's a little confrontational, you know, but you're pretty high. And
you should just cough on him next time you see him.
I don't want to cough on him, but like I said, if he's got it, I got it. You know, I mean, he's working doubles. I feel weird getting 2 apple fritters at once, so I'm gonna come back twice today.
Why don't you get 2 apple fritters at once? What the fuck?
The same reason he has to work double. Society. That's not on us. That's not on us. You know what I mean? We're just out here living by their rules.
I think you can get 2 apple fritters a day unless you have to cast out your Uber twice to get paid to afford 2 apple fritters.
I feel weird about it, and I got nothing to do. You know what I mean?
Not expose yourself to the pandemic more.
Well, I'm going to walk down to the 7-Eleven, and I'm going to get another apple fritter. The same one that I got earlier today.
Such a weird life choice. It's a weird life choice.
But dude, this guy's working there, and he's not making that much money, and we're both risking the same shit. You know what I mean? So I'm sorry, I'm a man of the people. But me
bad time to be a man of the people.
Apple fritter together.
Is that apple fritter worth dying for? Is it worth dying for?
Nothing's worth dying for. You know what I mean? That's the secret.
Well, I agree, but some people like to believe that God or country or some shit's worth dying for.
Oh, why?
I don't know.
You're just born there. You're just born there. Like, you don't owe anybody. Like, you're just born there.
Right. You owe allegiance to where your parents had unprotected sex?
Well, to me, and people always say, like, Texas born. Oh, I'm Texas born. Like, that's some shit you put at the end of an application when you run out of things. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I was born in Texas. Like, okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Your parents like to fuck in Texas. Cool.
Yeah. You fell out here.
Yep.
You know, like, that doesn't mean anything. It's like that Silverado in the parking lot that says Texas edition. You just paid a little extra. You know what I mean? Like, that's it, man. Same truck they have in Washington. There, they just call it that truck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But Texas is all about branding everything Texas.
Yeah.
Texas has more pride than any other fucking state in the nation.
It's like if the state fair was the coronavirus and it just spread out across the whole state. And we're all just eating corn dogs.
Yeah, there's a
Just
lot less
money.
fucking funnel cake, though. Man, if there was more funnel cake, I'd be willing to put up with this shit.
Dude, funnel cake, you can't have it too much. You know what I mean? That's state fair time. That's Texas knows when your body is ready for state fair food. And we've got it down to a science. You know? You come down here from LA, you don't understand that. You know? We clocked this out. Big Tex knows when to turn on. We don't even turn him on. He just knows when to turn on. You know, that's when the season's right.
Texas is a goddamn ridiculous place.
Oh yeah. No,
Though
if you're crazy.
Texas does have like one of my favorite flavors of women.
What is that? Is that a thing? Is the flavor of women a thing?
Well,
if you're Prince, you can't say that. Like, you're the Prince, or you can't say that. You know.
I just said it. It's on the internet. It's staying.
I have a favorite flavor.
No, Texas very reliably has Hispanic women with Southern accents, and I'm into it.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, what's an example?
Of a
Selena?
No, I mean girls I've actually met in Texas.
Okay. Where were you in Texas? Plano? Where were you?
Plano, Dallas. I mean, I've been all over fucking Texas.
If people don't know, Plano is just a flat grid. It is like if you fell asleep and you're designing a city and you're just late to turn in your homework, you're just like, fuck, it just runs parallel, it just makes sense, and there's just stuff where you need it. And the rich kids, you know, they're gonna fucking destroy this place eventually.
I've been to Plano.
Like,
I've been to Dallas multiple times. Been to Houston. My sister went to Rice University. Been to Austin a handful of times. Been to there was some rural fucking city in the middle of Texas I had to fucking work at because it was 3 hours outside of San Antonio. Been to San Antonio.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
The barbecue was good.
What'd you do in San Antonio?
Flew in and then drove to rural Texas.
That sounds terrible. What were you doing? Hunting a man?
No, working for the armored car company. We acquired some garbage company in the middle of rural Texas. So I had to roll out there and like fucking train people.
Oh man. I can't imagine be like, yeah, I gotta get on a plane and fly to San Antonio and drive to a rural area to buy a shit business.
Yep. No. They'd already bought the shit business. I just had to deal with the aftermath of them buying a shit business.
Oh, what does that mean?
So they acquired this fucking company, and then I had to go out there and like train their personnel and get them on board with the national policies. So the bullshit they've been pulling.
Oh, well, that's a diplomat, man. You gotta
does
get
this
it done
dude
with
look
the government.
diplomatic?
Yeah. No. You look like you're about to repossess the car that I haven't paid the note on.
That's a lot more accurate.
Yeah. But see, that's why you're a diplomat. You sneak up on people.
No, I just fucking get my fucking job done because I liked money. But as I said, made decent money. Hated that fucking job by the end.
Yeah, I could see that. That sounds stressful.
Yeah, well, just a little. You know, 2014, I flew 149,000 miles just in 2014.
Like that's going to San Antonio a lot.
That is going everywhere a lot.
Oh, really?
I was at an airport every Monday, every Friday. And then...
Man, they just can't put armored cars in different places?
They can.
It's like Dumbo. I'm picturing Dumbo. In the movie Dumbo, where they get on the helicopter and they just like the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, we got to get this car to a different place.
No, the cars were already there. They just had to send my ass to fucking fix shit. And then, because company policies was I could fly home on weekends, and though I legally lived in Vegas, I just flew wherever the fuck I wanted on weekends. So I either was going on roadie gigs with porn girls or just visiting people around the country on weekends.
All right. Well, I don't want to ask you more questions about that because it sounds like you're about to like say some shit like, when we just, did things. You know what I mean?
No, ask away. I don't care.
What were you doing? Who were you protecting with these armored cars?
Transporting money. We're just transporting money.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, it's bank trucks.
Oh, well, dude, that's just a job in finance. You just say, I just worked a job in finance.
Yeah, with a gun on my hip every day.
Well, I mean, if you're a good notary, you know what I mean? You keep that thing on you.
Over the years, I almost did shoot a couple people a couple times. I mean,
for doing what? What were they doing? Where you're like, oh man, we're all at this gas station, but you're acting aggressive.
I mean, I've told this story on air, but I had an incident where in 2005, I had a dude rush me as I came out of a grocery store.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Like, what was the instigation of the whole thing?
Okay. Sorry to any of my audience who's already heard this, but I'll tell it again.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't listen to every episode.
It's sorry. Okay. There are 200 fucking episodes. I'm assuming everyone who's listening to this has not listened to every fucking episode. Yeah, that's
200. Damn.
Oh yeah, well, over 200 actually.
Dude, way to go.
Yeah, I'm consistent, if anything.
Dude, that's hard.
It's 2005. It's a Saturday morning. I am hungover as shit. And we're picking up a grocery store in suburban Chicago. We used to come in and out of the exit door. You don't go in the entrance, come out the exit. You just pull open the exit door, walk in. Make the pickup, drop off their cash. As I'm coming out of the store, there are two guys in a two-seater parked behind the truck, looking at me, talking. I'm like, this isn't right. The nearest entrance door is a couple 100 feet this way. They're in a two-seater. They're obviously not waiting to pick somebody up. Something's not right here. This retailer, this grocery store, used to ship off big inter-office mail bags that we had to pick up too. So as I enter the first door of the vestibule, and I clock these guys, I pull my weapon and I kind of conceal it behind the inter-office mail bag. As I step out of the second door of the vestibule out to the street, the guy in the passenger seat runs at me. Full speed.
Oh, shit.
Gray hoodie, hood pulled up, hand in his front pocket. And he closed distance faster than I could say, stop or I'll shoot. He saw the business under my fucking Glock. If his hand had come out of his front pocket, I would have shot him. I wasn't going to wait to see if he had anything in his fucking hand. If his hand had come out of his fucking pocket, I would have shot him dead.
Yeah, well, you got the advantage.
Yeah, he was not expecting me to have the advantage.
Yeah.
And what's kind of super fucked up is, if he had been a white guy, I probably would have shot him.
Well, dude, it's like, but to me, that's just like, it's like, he didn't expect you to have the advantage. You have an armored truck. He should expect you to have the advantage. It's like,
well, but that's the thing.
That's like a slow pedestrian walking in front of a car. It's like, I understand what the rules are, but like, if the car hits you, it's like, car beats person every time.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, I've never somebody jump up and be like, I have the right of way, and they're just fine. It's like, no, that's gonna fucking suck.
Well, so statistically, armored car robberies are a planned event. People don't just do them, like as an opportunity. It's a planned event. And
that seems so dumb.
Well, statistically, people look for weak crews. They look for guys that are not paying attention, that are just going about their day. Because you do the job long enough, people get fucking complacent. They do the job I think the statistic was after someone's on the job for 3 years without an incident, they start to get complacent.
Yeah.
And it was on a Saturday. It wasn't my regular route. But when I worked that route, I generally rolled in a hungover as fuck. It was Saturday.
As we do.
Right. So that guy, I don't know if those guys had clocked me or clocked one of the other guys who regularly worked that route and went, oh, that guy looks fucking hungover, or that guy doesn't look like he knows what the fuck he's doing. Let's get him. Or it could have been a trial run to see how I reacted. He could have ran at me and just ran past him. And if I was just kind of like, meh, that was weird. They'd be like, oh, that's the guy to fucking hit.
Yeah.
The guy who pointed a gun in his fucking chest. And in the height of professionalism, all I got out of my mouth during the whole incident was, you stupid motherfucker.
Yeah. Dude, you're hungover.
Yeah, I never got a stop or I'll shoot out. I never got a, real verbal command. I got a, you stupid motherfucker. Height of professionalism.
Well, dude, it's like, because what do you do in that moment? It's like there's no time for professionalism. You know what I mean? That's a like a really serious like thing to have happen.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I
no,
mean?
100% shit like slowed down, and in what seemed like no time and all the time in the world as it was going down, I'm like, holy fuck, this is going down. Holy shit, this is actually going down. This is fucking. I've been on the job for years at this point. I never had a real incident. I'd pulled guns on people, but not anyone I'd actually ever felt was a real threat.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
like,
why would you pull guns on people otherwise?
because dumb motherfuckers would get too close. And since armored car robberies are a generally planned thing, I'm putting on theater for anyone who's potentially watching me. So say you get too close to me when I'm servicing an ATM or I have money and I react in an aggressive manner to you, someone who's casing us goes, that's not the guy.
Yeah.
That guy's going to react violently. That guy's going to, fight us. When you're trying to rob an armored car, you're looking for someone who is just not paying attention, who's just going to comply when you stick a gun in their face.
It always seems weird to me that someone would pay that much attention to detail and then like do that kind of shit. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, if you're this good at this, you should like do some other stuff. It'd be way better. I mean, it's like it seems like so. It's like not studying for an exam and then cramming the night before. Like, I mean, like,
hey, story of my life.
dude, in middle school, I used to have friends be like, "Do you want to just copy my homework?" I'd be like, "I'm just really sticking to this whole thing." It's like, like how lazy do you have to be? It's like, I just didn't care, but
yeah.
Seems like there's an easier way to live than like swindling people.
Yeah, but hey, it's for some people, it's all they know. Hell, right before I left Chicago, 2 of my coworkers got into a gunfight, fucking killed the dude, and I don't know if the other guy survived.
Did they duel?
What happened with that was one of my friends came out of a check casher. As he stepped out of the check casher, a guy put a gun to his head. Another guy put a double barrel shotgun under his chin. Said, "Give us the fucking money." My buddy apparently decided that he felt they were going to kill him either way and just drew and executed the guy in front of him with the double barrel shotgun.
Oh, man.
His partner jumped out of the truck and shot the other guy in the face. Turns out, these 2 assholes brought fake guns to the gunfight.
Why would you do that?
Because they had just gotten out of prison for robbing Brinks trucks in the 90s.
It would have made way more sense if you're like, they were an improv group, they'd just gotten out of class. I was like, why else are you bringing a fake gun to a fucking robbery? How do you end up in a robbery?
Because these guys had done it in the 90s, and they probably were successful with guys that just complied. So they probably thought, hey, we put guns on these guys. They're just going to comply. We'll get the money. We'll take their guns. Repeat process. And what sucks is, I'm happy as fuck that my friends didn't get hurt. But
yeah.
My friend who executed that guy with that double barrel shotgun, what he thought was a double barrel shotgun under his chin, was never the fucking same ever afterwards. He was just a different dude.
Well, yeah, you get shot with a double barrel shotgun.
Well,
someone says you're alive. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, he didn't.
Like,
it wasn't
different.
The double barrel shotgun was the double barrel shotgun wasn't real.
So what happened?
Guys stuck.
I'm sorry. Are you describing a LARPing? Is this a LARPing?
The guys who tried to rob them with fake guns, thinking that they would just comply when they put guns on them.
Uh-huh.
And then my friend drew and executed the guy who had what he thought was a double barrel shotgun on him.
Oh, well, that's bad management. You know what I mean?
My friend, he was just not the same dude afterwards. He just, he was a lot more quiet. He was definitely suffering from some level of PTSD.
That's the Bay of Pigs for JFK. You know what I mean? That's we don't know how that ended.
Yeah. Dallas took it.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? That's our claim to fame. We named the highway after the guy that took over after it. That's pretty aggressive.
Well, the guy who took over after him was from Texas, so that makes sense.
But still, we're like, where we name the highway after? We're gonna name it after the guy who was the president that we killed under it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, all right, that seems like.
Hey, there was a dive bar in Dallas called Lee Harvey's for a while.
Oh yeah. There were some people that always fetishize like that kind of stuff. Like, it is weird. It's always weird to see people sell tickets to like that kind of stuff.
Hey, people have an obsession with the macabre. There's nothing. I mean, it's just how life is.
You are wearing nothing but, everything but thumb rings. I get it. Green Lantern. What's working in porn like?
It's a job. I mean, that's all it is. It's just a fucking production job.
No, it's not. It's a job working in porn. What are you talking about? It's just a production job. That's ridiculous. It's like you being in a room with a girl. Like, no, we're just naked, but everybody has a body. This is just us for people. And it's like, no, like that's a different job.
After you're on it for a while, it's like you don't care. Last couple sets I've been on, literally, like when the sex started going down, I started playing games on my phone. It was like, meh, whatever.
You're like, I've been hung over in an armored truck. I just don't feel things anymore.
I feel things. I don't know. I'm just not. I guess I'm just been around it so much, and I'm so I'm fucking jaded that like sex acts that don't involve me don't excite me.
I saved my armored truck. I want that bumper sticker.
Eat whenever you want, but it's ready. But I know you're doing the shit.
Oh, thank you, sir.
As we get a meal call in the middle of the podcast. You don't have the fucking recording light lit up outside your fucking room? What the fuck?
That's family. You know what I mean? It's a pandemic. We're all working from home.
So it's much lower budget than most mainstream productions you're going to be on. Craft services.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Like a Galaxy, like a Note instead of like a new iPhone? What does lower budget mean?
Well, it means like the crew, maybe 3 people, like a PA, a shooter, a director. Like you may have.
You call him a shooter?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's a lot to live up to.
Yeah.
You know?
So the production end is like 3-4 people instead of a massive fucking crew that you would have on a fucking mainstream set.
And if you're the shooter, you got to show up, or why is everybody else here?
Well, no, the shooter's the guy holding the camera, not the male talent.
I don't know how porn works, man.
Yeah, and then you have your various cast members, and a whole porn feature may get knocked out in 1 or 2 days instead of 6 months.
In 1 or 2 days, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. So, does somebody have a script whenever you're doing porn? Does somebody turn in a script? Is there a rough draft of a porn?
Yeah, 100%.
Is there a rough draft?
I mean, as much as I don't have writing chops, I have written a couple porns.
Okay, you know what I mean. We call them wet dreams. I like the journal.
I mean, I have not written any features. I've written a couple scenes, and when I've written scenes, it was literally like a director friend of mine, like, "Hey, you know about video games? Can you write a scene where a gamer girl gets fucked? Use some gamer terminology."
Well, that sounds like a really weird treasure hunt. You know what I mean? You're like, "Hey, you want to do this?" You know what I mean?
I wrote it.
How does this go?
I believe the plot was the girl beats the dude in video games, calls him a noob or a lame or some shit. I wrote this shit 6 years ago. A noob or a lame or some shit, and then they fuck. I mean, it was pretty light on dialogue.
Okay. Well, I mean, sex happens, so you're like, so everybody kind of claps at the end. They're like, yeah, you know what I mean? That was good.
And that's the thing. You don't write out the sex scenes. You just write, and sex. Because that's on the director to...
Sex?
Well, because it's on the director to position people on what actual sex acts they want to see.
Yeah. That's where a different art starts. You know what I mean?
That's a director thing. That's not in the writing.
It's the Olympic torch. You go sex, and they do with that.
Right.
You know what I mean? They got to get it to the next part. That's editing.
Well, that's editing, because you never want to actually write out a sex scene because you don't know who your talent's going to be. And some performers may not be willing to do certain acts. They may not be willing to do certain positions. You never know.
Is it like fantasy football? You're like, God damn, I wish we could get so-and-so. She's been so fucking good. You know what I mean?
That shit's above my pay grade. I'm not directing more.
We don't even have a wide receiver 3. You know, anyway, we're just getting destroyed. And we really got to get somebody in here with some real talent. You know, somebody's got to be getting touchdowns.
We need a girl who will do double anal. God damn it!
Yeah, exactly. We got to start getting some clicks.
Yeah, it's an odd business, and it's never. If you had told me 15 years ago, hey, you're gonna be doing some work in porn, I'd be like, no, whatever. You're wrong. That's not a thing.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's not
We all support you, even though no one talks about it. We all support you.
Thanks.
You know what I mean?
It'd be nice if you supported my fucking podcast instead.
You're an Uber driver in a pandemic. You know what I mean? What's going on? It's I remember doing a show one night, and I would always kind of clue in sometimes. I'm like, you're always looking for like the odd coupling, and one of the things you would see is like two dudes with one chick. You know, so as a comic, you'd be like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Is this dude trying to fuck your girlfriend, or is you guys roommates? And just kind of watch them try to work it out in that moment. It's the same kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's like, what's going on over here?
Weird life choices got me to where I am. I mean, I think, the answer for all of us. Hell, you didn't get into comedy until 30. Some weird life choices got you there.
I did business taxes for enterprise level businesses.
That sounds fucking miserable.
Oh, it was. Did it for 8 years.
Did you meet your wife while you were doing the corporate job or after you got into comedy?
Oh, no. It was way worse than that. I met my wife at community college. So I was like 23 or something like that. She was like 21. I thought she was like not like when you're like 23, you're like, what are we gonna do if you're not 21? Like, you know, go to your parents' house or something. You know what I mean? Like, we got to be able to hang out, like go to a bar and drink. So we were leaving class one day after like 60 days of class. She was like, hey, I'm 21. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, you should come hang out with us. And that was basically it for the next, 11 years.
I mean,
so
that's for my rules for dating porn girls too. It's like, you got to be 21.
Well, yeah, well, that's the law.
No,
I mean, that's
18 is the age of consent, sir.
Oh, okay. So that's like Chick-fil-A not being open on Sunday. You're like, they got to be 21. You're like, because, well, that's us.
No, I just go to a lot of fucking bars. I don't know what the fuck I'd do with an 18-year-old.
Could be 18. Chick-fil-A could be open on Sunday, but that's not us.
Yep, exactly. That's not the life. Plus, I have so little in common with 21-year-olds I hang out with. I don't even know what. You're 18? What? You were born after 9/11 at this point.
Post 9/11 babies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Pre and post.
Yeah.
That's it.
You're a post 9/11 baby. I don't even know what I'd do with you. Like, hey, I spent 9/11 in a bar. You weren't born.
Yeah, they're gonna live longer than us. That's it. You know what I mean? Things are sweeter. Everything's cooler now.
No, see, I disagree. I feel like we were at the right age where we got to live some of that analog life, and we're not so old that we don't understand the digital life.
I don't know, man. I feel like 9/11 happened, and we were all like, we lost our rights. And then like the pandemic happened, and this generation was like, we all got a Nintendo Switch. Just chilled at home for a while. And you're like, man, that sounds way sweeter, honestly.
Yeah, but these idiots don't know how to have conversations in a lot of cases. Have no social interaction skills unless it's behind a fucking screen.
To me, I think like it's always just like the same thing. Every generation, we're all just the same thing. It's like, things are cooler now. Like people go blind playing Xbox. They have seizures. No one did that playing Jacks.
Oh, no.
That didn't happen playing Pogs.
They just got fucking lawn darts in the fucking head.
Yeah. You just ended up at the back row of Michael's just digging through a bin. If you're too into Pogs, that's it. That's it. Kids who play an Xbox, PlayStation 4 having seizures, trying to play Fortnite. You know what I mean? That's when you know something's good.
No, it just means it's poor genetics. They're like fucking inbred.
Well, you know what I mean. I love all dogs. Do you have any dogs?
Nope. You do not want to trust me with living things.
No dogs, no kids. Okay.
No dogs, no
kids.
kids.
Been trying to find your thing this whole time. I guess it's working in porn.
No, I have plenty of other things besides doing work in adult entertainment.
And then having the armored car job. What else have you done? The record label?
Yeah. Done other armed security gigs. I've been on the road with girls. I do this. I produce other podcasts.
God damn it.
I've been on 6 continents. I'm pretty fucking well traveled.
6 continents?
Uh-huh.
Dude, I've been to Oklahoma, Arkansas, New Mexico.
Oh, yeah. No, I've been to 45 states, too.
Oh, dude, just half full rooms of people looking at you going, I'm trapped. I can't leave here. I can't afford it. Make me laugh. And you go. You just describe your life, and they laugh just enough that you can come back and do it again.
Yeah. Travel is one of my things. 2019 was the first year in over a decade that I hadn't been on a plane.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't fly at all as a kid.
I flew a
Did you travel a lot in your 20s?
A little bit in my 20s. A lot of it started, once I moved west, and then once the armored car gig had me traveling everywhere.
Okay.
I'm pretty good at gaming systems, so I signed the fuck up for all the frequent flyer miles and all the travel rewards, and I still have 6-figure fucking airline miles, even though I haven't traveled professionally in 6 years.
So what have you been doing for 6 years? Just doing the podcast?
Doing the podcast, working in porn production, doing security work. I was a private investigator for 3 years.
Private investigator?
Yeah, as a PI.
Dude, armored cars, Dark Knight. Now you're in detective novels. You've been all over the place.
Yeah, it's been an interesting ride.
What's being a private detective like?
Sitting around and listening to a lot of fucking podcasts.
Why?
Because you sit on people's houses waiting for them to fucking leave.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
There's a lot of days of 8 hours sitting in the backseat of a car waiting for someone to leave their fucking house.
You're a paid voyeur. You know what I mean? You're just a bird watcher. You know what I mean? But people fear it. It's weird to be like, I'm a bird watcher. People are like, okay, whatever. But people are like, no, I watch people. People are like, what?
Yeah, I watch people, but being a PI is the most exciting and boring job at the same time. Because there will be 8-hour days where you will just sit there and do fucking nothing except listen to podcasts and stare at the outside of someone's house. But there'll be other days where you're fucking following people for hundreds of miles, following them into places. Like, they're going to the gym. Well, I guess I got to pay for a day pass at the gym and throw on a different outfit and work out behind them and tape them while they're on a fucking treadmill.
Why? Isn't a gym like a house? Like, you can just be like, they're in the 24-hour fitness. I don't know when they're going to come out because it's 24-hour. But I assume at some point.
Nope. Especially
you got to go in there and work out.
Yeah, because in a lot of cases, I was working insurance fraud cases.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I want to catch them fucking lifting beyond what they're allowed to fucking lift and all that shit.
Dude, you fuck up your money that you're living on just trying to bench press too much for just people you don't even think are looking at you.
Oh, yeah.
And there is somebody looking at you.
Who would expect this guy? Who would expect this guy to be the guy who's fucking ratting you out?
I would expect you. I would definitely expect you. I'd be like, this dude. I'd be like, this dude's definitely not a regular member of this gym. I think he's probably jerking off in trucks on the highway. And
oh yeah, you'd think that. You don't think I'm fucking selling you out to the insurance company?
And I'm not trying to say anything, but I think you might have a podcast. You know?
Yeah.
That's how the Netflix documentary starts.
Honestly, that was the podcast started while I was still working as a PI. And that was honestly a fear at one point, was like that I would somehow, I mean, it was obviously not a fear that had any basis in reality, get famous enough for doing this shit that someone would be like, love your show, man, as I'm fucking following someone. That would have been like, fuck.
I mean, I've honked at a cop for turning too slow, so I get it.
Well, I also...
Feels good. You're like, I got out on that time. You know what I mean? He at least has to do a U-turn. You know what I mean? He at least has to do a U-turn. And that's cool, bitch. You know what I mean? And he's got to be a bitch for a second. And he's got to pull a U-turn. And I'm going to pull this parking lot and eat these pancakes. And either way, I feel like, yeah, I won.
Well, I was still working as a PI when I got my AVN nomination too. So,
oh goddamn, that feels very conflicting. You know what I mean? You're like, I'm the number one in reality entertainment for the government. You know, the CIA. It's like, dude, I think everybody would. You can't be Gene Simmons in 007.
Yeah, well, I was trying to pull it down. Thankfully, I was never very successful at either one. So,
No, I think you just described Mr. Bean.
Mr. Who?
Mr. Bean.
Did you just call me Rowan Atkinson? Jesus.
No, I'm sorry. Doesn't he do everything right? And he just kind of fucks it up the whole time?
Yeah, I mean, that sums it up pretty well. I mean, but I feel like that's real
what
life.
you just said to me. You made me feel like a jerk. I was like, you just described that to me. I'm like, that's Mr. Bean. He was in a movie. We loved him.
I'm not that charming or British.
And that's what you have on your side. You know what I mean?
But I mean, that's real life for everyone. No one has their shit together. That's what I've learned as a real adult. No one actually has their shit together. Some people just bullshit at it better.
If you think adults are real, you're not old enough to be one. You know?
Yeah. At what age did you realize that, like, the responsible adults in your life were, fallible human beings and, like, oh shit, they don't know what the fuck they're doing either?
Oh, I don't remember pre that. You know? I'm 35, sitting in front of an airbed on a podcast, saying I'm a comedian. You know what I mean? My mom and I, dude, we used to go to AA meetings. She wasn't sober. I was like 7. We both shouldn't have been there.
Well, I mean, you definitely shouldn't have been her sponsor.
Well, no, I would just, I would like cigarettes for dudes with shaky hands. And I would say, thank you for sharing.
Wow, 28 years later, you're still doing it.
No, back then I would stack the chairs at the end, and that's how I learned responsibility. You know what I mean? Now I'm working on the other part. You know what I mean? You got to play offense and defense to understand the whole game.
Speaking of your road to recovery, are you doing any meetings or anything?
I need to, but they're all virtual right now. And that just feels so weird to me. It doesn't feel like you're saying with the podcast, it's weird to go to therapy to me. I'm glad that people can do it and it's productive for them. But for me, I'm like, it just feels too weird.
No, I feel that. I definitely feel that.
That's the old in us, man. You're like, yo, I dug around in barrels of pogs and I don't do virtual therapy.
Well, I don't do therapy at all at the moment, but I really should be.
Well, it's weird to me now too, where like therapy is like the new college. So like, well, you got to at least get therapy, And it's like, okay, well, I mean, I'm sorry I didn't grow up in your fucking orchard of money. Therapy,
Yeah,
it's the new normal.
I'm old school enough where like, no, I got to bottle that shit up and have it explode at some point in my life. Come on.
Well, California told you that because they made you wait like 2 weeks or something, right?
Oh, yeah. You heard that bit on. Oh, no, it's been months. They still have not gotten back to me to get me on.
Your state bottled you. You're a wine now.
No, I'm vinegar. Fucking vinegar is what I am.
I'm in Texas. They just give you some Bluebell and they go, I hope you feel better. Yeah.
Or you die.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
I mean,
or you get a sword, which we can also legally have now. We can open carry it. Just anywhere we want. Like we just won our Dungeons and Dragons night, and we're just out here with a sword because we deserve it.
Could you open carry a knife?
I don't think that's weird. I think knives aren't, and I understand that. A knife is way more aggressive than a sword. And I know that's weird, but a knife is like I'm here to kill you. A sword's like I've never had sex with a woman. And
I don't know, man. I'm still not looking to throw down with a dude with a bladed weapon, no matter how big it is or how small.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't prefer a bladed weapon. This isn't period sex. I am...
Good callback.
Thank you. It's the only thing I can do. It makes no sense. No, I mean, it's Texas. You got to have a sword. Anything could kill you, I
feel like you should just have a bayonet on your rifle in Texas, not a sword.
No, people have red hats. They let you know. We used to have Confederate flags, and it was like a McGruff house, the opposite. You're like, oh, don't go to that house. That's bad. You don't want, But, red hats are convenient. I used to just go hang out at somebody's house, and they'd be like, dude, I love American History X. You'd be like, I don't know, I guess I'll just sleep here till tomorrow.
It's a good movie. Not, you shouldn't love the Nazis, but it's a good movie.
You don't want like playing, landing, clapping at the rough parts.
No. You definitely don't want someone to be like, he curbed him, yay!
Yeah. But this is way before Memento. This story is moving forward.
Right.
This is not about to go backwards.
I will happily watch Peruse of Bulk have sex scenes whenever you let me.
You will what?
Happily watched Veruza Balk have sex scenes.
Veruza Callcap?
Veruza Balk, Derek's
Is that your
girlfriend.
AIM screen name?
No,
Derek's girlfriend?
Derek's girlfriend. In the opening scene, they're having sex.
That sounds like a Hulu show. What are we talking about?
The actress, she was from The Craft. She played Derek's girlfriend in American History X.
Oh.
Veruza Balk.
Yo, MTV Raps. I could never remember that actress's name. I love The Craft. It's a great movie.
Oh, yeah. No. Saw her at my local Trader Joe's. She's just as cute in person.
Good movie. Now they just stage your house, you know?
Yep.
Make a great film. Why don't you? Yeah.
I'm working on it. No, I'm not. That's an absolute lie. I'm not working on any great films. I'm working on doing podcasts. This is what I'm working on.
Well, yeah. I was speaking. We were both speaking for women right there, and you got pretty aggressive about it. And I was gonna,
oh, you haven't even started.
You're like, I don't even wear thumb rings. I don't know how anybody could think.
How can you think I'm aggressive? I have no rings on. I have no rings on.
I'm not even wearing thumb rings. I would love that. Obviously, I'm not famous,
Right?
Or,
I can't even snap. I'm not able to snap. I can't end the world.
You ever get to that age where you hear like an ambulance and you think, I don't know, maybe I had a seizure? You're like, but I can't afford health insurance to find out. It's like, I'm just live. And what's the point of me eating all this fast food if it's what I have to do to be able to afford health insurance?
See, you just got to move to California, get that free health insurance.
California.
Yeah. With our, previously thriving comedy scene. Who knows?
Yeah. That's an equal playing field, though. Everybody's comedy scene is dead.
It is.
That's rough.
See, this is why you should be writing a fucking comic or a cartoon, because that medium is going to fucking thrive this year.
Oh, no. You never latch yourself onto something that you think this is definitely going to work out. You're going to take a chance.
It's still a fucking chance.
Turn 30, get in a comedy, start a podcast. You know what I mean? Like, take a chance. Throw that reel.
Well, that's the best part. Everyone in this pandemic is starting podcasts, and my ass is like, well, I'm been at it for years at this point, so yay! I'm a podcast hipster.
Yeah, dude, I'm 35. I don't have health insurance. I've been afraid of skateboards for the last 5 years. You know what I mean? I'm not scared of a fucking pandemic. This is how I've been living. I Uber bloomed. It took off. I feel bad saying that. This feels very. I don't know. I don't want to be on the side of the Bay of Pigs, whatever that means. But well, it's like
I can tell you, on the Cuban side of the Bay of Pigs, they celebrate that shit pretty well.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, I've been to Havana.
Well, legally, we can't have that over here. So we don't know about it.
Oh, it's great. If you go to the Museum of the Revolution, which could be easily called the anti-CIA museum, they have a fucking tank parked in the back of it that they claim Castro personally fired and knocked down planes with at the Bay of Pigs. It's amazing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like fake, like he knocked down planes, or like he just knocked down like they're like, dude, it turns out it was just a flight of beers. It was just a flight of beers. Like he knocked down planes. We just fucked it up.
They're just like, this tank, Fidel Castro personally shot down a fucking plane with.
Dude, the Battle of Britain, the British put up fucking fake buildings and let the Germans bomb them. That was all they could do. It was like Russia, like closer quarters. You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, hit us, but here.
War's weird,
That's
man.
how I describe my life to people right now.
You're like, I'm the British, just putting up fake buildings and shit.
It's the Russians. Like, you just hack and burn everything. It's like, this is my stuff. And eventually they're like, well, we give up. And you're like, yeah, that's what I thought.
Just gonna keep throwing men at it till they fucking give up. Till it gets too fucking cold, and they're like, we're done. We can't survive this fucking winter.
Yeah. Somebody has to say, I'm not God's strongest soldier. I have to go home. It's all a reality TV show. It's Rick and Morty. Here we are. But Lawrence, is about that time. We're going to actually call last call on this motherfucker. What have you been drinking?
What I've been drinking.
Elijah Craig.
Yep. 94 proof.
Isn't that dude that choked all those wolves?
Maybe. He makes good bourbon if he did.
That's also a weird way to start a bourbon company. What's it taste like? I killed several wolves. Like, I guess.
Hey, man.
You're going to sign the paperwork.
If you put some wolf's blood in there, I'm not going to argue. It tastes fucking delicious.
Yeah, if it's good and the guy killed wolves, like this is someone you go into business with,
right? Honestly, if that dude makes you a business offer, can you turn him down? He might murk you. He may just fucking murk you over it.
Dude, it takes me 4 days to send an email. This dude's killing wolves
with his bare hands
and selling alcohol on the side. You know what I mean?
Right?
Were you a mobile liquor store? What are you, my mother?
But on that note,
that way because it's Mother's Day. You know, because that was for Mother's Day.
Aw.
Love you, Mom. If you can get her on a podcast, you know.
I mean, I don't think this. If she's a recovering alcoholic, I don't think this is the podcast she wants to get on.
Oh no. My mother was a criminal. When my mom became an alcoholic, we were very proud of her. We were like, look at her, she's home. And you know what I mean? Like that's the family you grow up in, you know?
Oh my god, we gotta have you on again because we do gotta wrap. We gotta wrap this motherfucker up. Lawrence, where can they find you on the socials? Where can they find your comedy? All that fun shit.
Lawrence Rosales. I got in early. Just everything.
Awesome. Check out Lawrence. He's a funny motherfucker. I just watched a YouTube clip where he tried to almost fought a dude over some ranch at the Jack in the Box.
Oh, okay. At first I was like, oh man, I didn't know those bum fights were still out there. No, the ranch thing, that was true. And that was for my wife. You know, that was honor. That's honor.
Not enough honor to actually fight the kid, but is that why she left you? Because you didn't actually fight the kid?
Oh man, that's why I left myself. You know, that's where I gave up. You know, it's like this kid's coming at me hard. You know what I mean? An 18-year-old is the scariest thing on the planet.
Oh yeah, because they think they're immortal.
Yeah, which makes you are what you think you are. You know what I mean? It's a pack of hyenas. Like more than one of them, that's a pack.
Oh, yeah.
When you're 18, that's a pack. You know? And dude, 18 me would beat the fuck out of me now. It's just like real good. I don't think at 35 I could take it.
Oh, I definitely could not take 18-year-old me. Well, I take that back. I outweigh 18-year-old me by quite a bit. So if I could get hands on 18-year-old me, I'd fuck him up. But if 18-year-old me could stay loose and let it go for a little bit, I'd just be winded and get the shit kicked out of me. Oh,
dude. 18-year-old me's thirst to live and him just being like, motherfucker, why do I have more money than you? And then that's how it would, you know.
On that note, the 18-year-old versions of us kicking the shit out of us, I'm going to pour more whiskey while I can still form words.
I think it's my Chardonnay.
Aw. Your fancy Chardonnay with the fucking cork. It's the best.
I'm impressed.
Lawrence, it was an absolute pleasure. And until next week, drink up, motherfuckers. You know where to find me on social media.